I could do it. It's hot. Jesse, what are you dressed up as?
I was already called a pumpkin. I went with the orange and black theme today, so that's what I got going on here.
Oh,
A successful
skinny pumpkin.
A successful
Very skinny pumpkin.
Madison weight loss client is what you're dressed as today.
Yeah, so like I don't know what's less round than a pumpkin, but I guess,
A gourd.
Yeah, I'm a gourd.
You're kind of a gourd.
I'm a gourd today. Yeah.
All right,
Trick or treat.
Gordo. Nice work. So, Tausch,
I don't know about you guys. I heard a lot of compliments about our trivia yesterday. And usually, whatever. You know, some people text if it's like a topic that they really like, but I don't know how often you hear from people about trivia. I don't usually. Yesterday I did, and so Up North Joe, you just signed up, baby. Up North Joe now has a job, and I don't know if he knows that, but Up North Joe,
Way
what's
to go.
fair to have him do one a month? I don't think doing one a week is, unless he wants to.
He already signed up to do geography again next week. He said geography is, he does not want to sign up for anything beyond geography trivia.
It's his jam.
We don't want him for anything else. That's his specialty.
He's like the punter.
So-
we bring him in for a very specific situation, but he'll do it as often as called upon.
Yeah, I think we could. I raved. I really enjoyed that yesterday. Thought that was fantastic. Up North Joe.
I'm sorry, how many... You just said I really enjoyed that yesterday, meaning you. How many rave reviews did you get from other people other than yourself?
I want to say I probably got 4 or 5 different text messages from different people, which,
That's a lot.
the market research I could give you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
that's a lot.
people enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very fair. The Driftless region.
The
All
gift
right,
that keeps on giving.
So you've chosen to show up for the program now, just as you did for Wisconsin's Morning News, with your Incredible Hulk mask. Does this mean that you are very festive today and you're into Halloween, or are you just going for the low-hanging fruit of wearing a mask on the show?
Low-hanging fruit here, but no, I like Halloween. I think it's fun. You have, you get dressed up. Obviously, I can't wear the costume that I'll be wearing tonight just because I can't talk through it. I think there's something with Monstars. I don't even really know. Eleanor picks what happens, and she just tells me as we get there what it's going to be. She's dressed up, I think, as a minion or I don't even know. But I know the mask or the
Great
thing
story.
that I was wearing, I didn't want to
I now don't know what you're doing or what Eleanor's doing or really anything.
Dazzling details.
I'd love to give you a dazzling detail right now.
Here's the problem with the mask. I can't tell if he's got that scowl on his face, like you guys are jerks, scowl or not, because his facial expression doesn't change.
That's
The
the
Hulk.
beauty.
Staying, yeah. Okay. Well, good luck with that. All right. So you have a party tonight. That was what I was trying to get to. Is what are your Halloween plans?
Yeah, the kids just go out trick or treat, hang out. That's the gist of what happens, and you get together. I'm sure it's what you guys. Well, I don't know what you guys do, but that neighborhood, you go out. Adults get together, kids roll around, go get candy,
Roll
and get
around.
spooked, and the whole deal, and you just go home. That's the deal. Yeah, I think that's. During the weekday, that's typically what I know. That's what we've done in the past, and I think that's what we're doing tonight.
So I am going as Doc McKenzie, and Sydney is also going to be a doctor, and we're going to push Maddie in a wheelchair because she's the patient.
That's not going to work.
That's not going to work. You need a straw there, Hulkster.
It's not going to work. No coffee. I like my coffee in that first segment. You're going. Maddie is going as Maddie.
No, she's going to go as a injured patient because she can't walk. She's on either crutches or in a wheelchair, so we have to make alterations for that. So a Care Bear in a wheelchair doesn't make a lot of sense, whereas, yeah, so we'll be pushing her
I
around
think
the
you two
neighborhood.
should have gone as horses pulling the chariot.
That would have been good.
Well, Jesse, where was this information a week ago when we were trying to plan?
Well, I didn't know you were looking for ideas. If you had been open to the ideas, I think we could have come up with some for
That's
you.
a really good idea. That's a really good idea,
Where do
actually.
you think adult holidays, where's Halloween rank in the adult holiday sphere?
So, are we talking adults like us or adults like Jesse, Riley, Yauk, younger folks that are still, they don't have kids. They're still in the throes of the excitement of being a grown-up, but still having fun and doing fun stuff. Because to me, Halloween...
Adults can have fun stuff. Too.
Well, yeah, but if you're parents, your fun stuff is usually kid-related more often than not. Fair?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Because, when you're young and you're newlyweds or you're dating or whatever it is, it's a fun holiday. There's Paula and I, one of my favorite pictures of us is her as the devil and me as Jesus. And it was fun to go out on the town in your costume and whatever else. There are...
that time she was an M&M sitting on your lap looked like that was the most fun she's had in a while, if I'm being honest. Put that up. There you go. Look at that. Look at how happy she is. You think she's been happier ever since then? Or is that the happiest?
Yeah, I make her very happy, actually. So I know that comes as a surprise.
Why is she an M&M?
I have no idea. That doesn't...
Oh, no. I thought Jason is Elmo. Okay. There you go.
I often get Candy and Sesame Street characters mixed up.
C is for cookie.
Look, I think it's a really fun holiday when you have kids, and it's a really fun holiday before you have kids. I don't know, for now, you just said, I thought maybe you were going to a Halloween party of some sort after you got done with trick-or-treating, but the fact of the matter is you're really just accompanying your kids and then hanging out with other adults who also have kids trick-or-treating. Am I understanding your plans tonight correctly?
There's food and drink, and you're at someone's house?
So you said, when I asked you what your plans were, you said the kids were going out trick-or-treating. You did not say you were going to a party. So now you are going to a party.
I don't know if we constitute it as a party or not. But yeah, it's a get-together.
You just said if you have drinks and food, it's a party.
Let's move on. I don't know where you're going with this. I don't know. Yes, we're going. It's going to be fun. We'll have fun. I literally was just asking, is Halloween the best? You're either all in on Halloween or you're not. That's kind of what I'm thinking. You're either all in or you're not. I don't think you can kind of middle. You're either going to get dressed up or you're not. I guess you could do those fake costumes that you fake like you're dressing up and just show up. But I feel like you're either a Halloween person or you're not. And I feel like you're a Halloween person. That's why I'm surprised you didn't dress up today.
Yeah, I didn't think to dress up. I will rectify that for the second segment after you tell us about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Thank you. Get the look you want. It is hot. For your home with customizable, could use a window right now. Doors and windows and doors from Pella. The durability of materials gets tested tens of thousands of times to ensure that they last for years to come. Pella offers custom colors, innovative features like shades between the glass, and right now celebrate Gina's 60th birthday with a big party. 0 for 60. 0 down, 0 interest, 60 months. Certain restrictions do apply. Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
The Halloween edition of Wilde and Tausch. Tausch will return as Tausch. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh from ESPN Wisconsin. Biggest game of the year this Sunday up in Green Bay. It's Green Bay and Detroit, first place on the line. Green Bay Game Day will get the party started at noon. Join me, Gabe Neitzel, and Super Bowl champion Jared Bush live from Green Bay, leading you up to kickoff.
Green Bay Game Day, presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Broadcasting live from the shadow of Lambeau Field starting at noon on Sunday on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube page.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Lowe, Dobbs, Watson, Reed, and now Josh Jacobs? Football season is back, baby. Now's the time to set a game plan for your Green Bay and Wisconsin pigskin parties. This is Marie from Discount Liquor. We are your football party beverage headquarters. Whether you need an ice cold keg, a bottle of your favorite wine, a unique craft brew, or hard-to-find liquor, we have everything you need, all at the lowest prices in town. Come see us today at 51st in Oklahoma and Milwaukee, and on Barstow and Main in downtown Waukesha. Voted best liquor store again.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings
Wherever you're tailgating, we'll get you all set up with your favorite beverages. We're open daily 9 to 9 and Sundays 10 to 2. See all of our weekly specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we're the cold weather experts, offering unbeatable deals on the gear and supplies you need to get ready for winter. Like 30% off all zero exposure outerwear for the family. Get $100 off a Cub Cadet 2-stage snow thrower. Get $120 instant savings when you buy 4 Goodyear tires. Rewards members save an extra $50. Plus, get up to $100 in additional savings by consumer rebate when you buy 4.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Wauwatosa East's Malachi Mack. The senior scoring twice in the Red Raiders' Level 1 playoff win Friday night, a 21-14 win over rival Tosa West, and a bit of revenge for a loss earlier in the season to West. Mack scored at the end of the first half to give East a 14-0 halftime lead, and then helped put the game away with not one but 2 big plays late. First, it was a 40-yard touchdown run, followed up by a fumble recovery as the two-way player jumped on a loose ball. Malachi also shines on the track and field squad as an all-state sprinter and long jumper. Congratulations to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Malachi Mack.
Landworks is the locally owned landscape company to elevate the look of your home or business. Landworks is different because of customer service. From the crew to the salesperson to the admin team, you're in good hands with Landworks. Their sales and design teams are made up of horticulturists, licensed landscape architects, and passionate plant people. Their landscape architects and horticulture team members are also project managers. This means you'll have a single point of contact from initial design through completion of work. See their amazing work for yourself at landworkswisconsin.com.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Get loud on Friday, but on Saturday, we paint the town.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. I don't have a good camera angle for this though. Talk about being
you look like you look like a kind of a washed up biker, like a skateboarder that can't really skate anymore.
I was going to say
kind of the vibe I'm
Eminem.
getting.
I thought he looked like Eminem.
Oh, I think Eminem would fit that mold.
Wait a minute, Eminem, the rapper,
Not
or
the
Eminem?
can.
Right, the rapper. Not what Paula was
saying.
right, yeah, not
really good.
Yeah.
Somewhere around here, I have the little dog. I can't find him right now. The little dog that he.
I feel like
puts the
Grinch.
antlers
You
on.
have to have the green face, right, to be Grinch.
I have the mask, but as you found out the hard way,
It's too hot.
and a little grouchily, I might add. Like you said, you're going to a party. Well, it's not really a party, but parties have food
It was
and drink,
semantical.
and
It's all
this has a
semantical.
party. So what? Anyway,
Wow.
you were not in your best mood while you were the Hulk. So I did not want to grab the mask that goes with it, and then I'm grouchy.
Yeah,
And
it's
then we
hot,
have a
sweaty
whole
deal.
Grumpelstiltskin.
I have a theory.
You don't want all this grouchiness.
I have a theory that Tausch is one of several going as the Avengers, but he doesn't understand what the whole team encompassing deal is.
You said the monster.
No.
Like Space Jam.
But he's got a Hulk mask.
Well, we have masks. Like that's last year, if you remember, I was Chewbacca. I Chewbacca'd it because you have to have it where the mouth can move, so I can fit this little deal, so that I can still talk. There's limited options if you're trying to do a radio show, mask-wise. That's all.
Yeah, very fair. Yeah, I did do a show once, or at least a segment with that unicorn head on, and everyone thought it was creepy.
That was
so
creepy. I should bring that back today.
Was it
Well, the
spook?
good-
How have we not done spooky or fluky?
I'm sure that's
my
scheduled
other
for
question.
today.
It is in the title of the show on the YouTube stream.
I literally looked. I don't know where you want to go here, but my question that I sent you guys earlier this week.
Pee
I
on
am
the
not in
toilet seat is
studio.
where I would like to go.
Oh, you got the poops?
No, pee.
Oh my God!
You sent us it's gonna Jesse. It's gonna be one of those days.
Trick or treat.
You sent a text that you wanted us to remind you that you had encountered pee on a toilet seat. So I thought that's where you were
This
headed.
was Saturday night. It was like halftime of the Badger game. You texted us pee on the toilet seat for later in the week.
So that's interesting. So they redid the bathrooms up at Camp Randall. It used to be 2 urinals up at the press, and now it's just 2 bathrooms, locked doors. I think it's always for the better, because before it would be you'd have the 1 stall and 2 urinals, and there'd be people in there just gripping, and you'd be like, ugh. And you know who's in there because there's only a certain. It's a weird deal. So I like that there's privacy. Okay. Anyways, I go in, and both doors, it just hits halftime. I think we're ahead. Everybody's in a pretty good spirits, pretty
Busy
good half
time.
of football. Yeah, and I got to go pee. So I go, and I have to stand and wait, and somebody's in there. I don't know who. They come out. I don't know who this person was. I don't know if it was somebody from Penn State or if it was a Big Ten official. I don't know who the person was.
Okay.
And I go in, and there is pee all over the seat. I'm just going to pee.
Oh, so you're not sitting. This is not directly going to affect your ability.
So do I need to go and wipe up old boy's pee on the seat? Because guess who's right behind me?
Matt LePay.
Not Matt LePay. Todd
Barry
Blackledge.
Alvarez.
Oh, Todd.
So Blackledge is
Todd.
going to be coming in. He's thinking I peed all over the seat. So it was a real conundrum. I didn't do anything. I peed, washed my hands, and went back out. So Blackledge is probably thinking now this heavy-set fella, Lord knows what he's doing in there, and now I got to deal with deal with a urinated seat.
And you know Blackledge
What do you do
is
if you're me?
Blackledge is going back to Noah Eagle, and he's telling him about the encounter and how gross it was. So now the lead broadcasters of NBC Saturday Night Football, who you're going to run into again this week, are going to think you're the nasty
we're going to
pee
see him
guy.
Unfortunately, we were really hoping for an 11 o'clock tip. That didn't happen, but nighttime at Kinnick will be fine. What do you do?
I'm so disappointed in you right now.
Because there was an answer I should have done.
Yes, there was an obvious answer here that I can't believe you overlooked, because you are way savvier than me. You use your foot, lift up the toilet seat so it's up. You pee, right? Because that means that Todd Blackledge comes in and thinks, hey, the heavy-set fella peed like a normal person, not risking peeing on the seats. Then if he comes in, if he just has to pee, you're in the clear. The seat's up. If he has to go Deuce McAllister, he has to lower the seat. He sees there's wetness on there, but he knows it's not from you because the last guy that I was waiting behind lifted the seat. So you could have avoided any concern about your inaccurate and inconsiderate peeing technique with Todd Blackledge had you just lifted the seat.
The tricky part of that, there was a lot of urine residue on the bowl as well, not just the seat. Someone spritzed all over the place. So I agree with your assessment, but I left thinking Blackledge is definitely thinking I peed all over the deal. That's what happened. And I was not in the business of grabbing a bunch of paper towels and wiping everything down for somebody else's urine misplacements. So
Misfire.
It was a real conundrum, and that's why I text you guys that.
Well, I think I gave you the perfect solution. You did not utilize it. That's fine. But now, here's the question. I would love for you, A, to get Todd Blackledge on the show, because I know you like to book guests. B, I would like you to introduce yourself to Todd and say, hey, just so you know, it was the guy before me that peed on the seat last week at Camp Randall. I really don't want you thinking I'm a seat peer, and see how he responds.
Well, and then the other question, what happens if, you do have to do something, you get Plug City, USA, and there's no plunger. What do you do
A lot
then?
of USAs today. What do you do? Don't know. I don't know what your where you're at in terms of your digestion, but that's the risk. Usually, those toilets are of a industrial strength, like
certain
that you
power.
wouldn't
Shouldn't have any
that
issues
you wouldn't want to
with.
drop
Yeah.
anything in there because it'd be gone. So I think you'd have been okay, but. I wish Eleanor was listening today because this is the kind of bathroom conversation she used to
She'd love
enjoy on the
this.
program.
Yeah. It was always
Did
her
you
favorite,
think to
so.
call the guy out as you walked into the stall and yell, "Whoa"?
No, I didn't. It was you had to wait a little bit, so then it's always obviously a little goofy when there's a line, and then people know what's up. I mean, people know what's up. So if somebody drops, and unfortunately for me, like if there's a certain smell or something else, everybody just assumes it's the heavy-set fella that let it rip. If you're on an airplane, everybody will stare at it. It's part of the process. You have to deal with it. And in the same respect, it goes that way if somebody drops a big old doosler and then you come out 2 people later, they're going to think you dropped a big old doosler. So I don't think there's a really good, clean way to kind of get that thing moving.
By the way, are you not now guilty of what surely Todd Blackledge was? Like, are you assuming that the person directly in front of you was the peer on the seat? When it might not have been him either. Maybe he faced the same conundrum you did.
It's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
You seem skeptical of that notion.
No, I mean, it is possible that happened. That's the problem when people don't take care of their business. You end up getting a chain of effects that could completely change the course of time. Like, who knows? Maybe Todd Blackledge is like, boy, I really love that heavy-set fella on the Badger broadcast. I'd like him to do Sunday Night Football with Mike Tirico. And then he's like, well, boy's a urinator on the seats. So you don't know what chain of effects that could have stopped. Because now Todd Blackledge looks at this and thinks that I'm a toilet seat peer. That's how it could go.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that's how it does go, but it could.
So if you thought that was a possibility, then couldn't you have solved that by wiping up that other person's urine to save your potential big break in your career?
How am I supposed to know? I didn't know it was going to be Blackledge next up. Like, I didn't know that for certain. There's another bathroom. Somebody was just going quick. He would have been in that one. That's the thing. You just don't know, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll never know. But all I want to do is publicly thank the seat peer because we need you on this show. Because Wilde and Nelson or whatever we would do instead would not be nearly as popular. So we do not want you to get the Sunday Night Football gig. I don't want you to think that we're not supporting your career.
It'd be a fun gig.
But it would be really
nice
better for us if you stuck around. All right. Maybe at some point with the biggest game of the season to date coming up on the Packers' schedule, we should probably talk about that matchup. And the status of the quarterback who has a groin injury, and he did not. I was told that he was expected to practice on a limited basis yesterday. That was not, in fact, true. He did not practice at all. And we will see if he practices at all today. We will go through that, and we will discuss that coming up. Again, if you have some seat peeing advice, or maybe more accurately, cleanup advice, you can certainly text that to Jesse, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. That is the Wilde and Tausch talk and text line. Tausch, one last thing on this. You mentioned that the game is, again, a night game in Iowa City. You would have liked an 11 o'clock start.
I want all 11 o'clock starts.
So you have established that during your NFL career that you always wanted noon starts. But as a college kid, whether you're at home or on the road, these back-to-back Saturday night tilts, do you get the sense that the kids these days get really excited about that still, as opposed to the curmudgeonly old veteran who played 11 years in the league and now wants to get home from Iowa City as early as possible after Saturday's game?
Yeah, but as I've learned from you, media starts with me. So that's first off. But from a player standpoint, you want the most raucous. Now, if I'm on the road, I don't want to play at night because it's going to be loud or people are going to be more lubed up. But if it's a home game like for the Badgers last week, yes, I want that atmosphere. Yep. I want to make it difficult for the other team. So it goes both ways. I think it's going to be an awesome atmosphere down in Iowa City. I think, crowd noise will be a factor for sure, that the fans are right on top of you down there. I haven't been there since I played, but I remember how close the fans were. It will be an awesome atmosphere, and I think the players eat that stuff up. And some of my favorite wins as a player, and I'm sure everybody involved, you love winning big home games. That's great. But there's something about that bus ride or the plane ride back after you did something with just your group that is really special. So that is something that I think you can get excited about, too.
All right, we're going to get to the Packers-Lions game for those of you like Seth in Columbus who are thinking, quote, what have I just tuned into? Yeah, it's a fair question. Definitely fair. The Hulk has departed. The Grinch has departed.
That criticism is very fair, no doubt. Very fair criticism.
Well, we will shift gears to Packers-Lions coming up. Want to remind you, I don't know if you're doing this, but I know I am, because we've been talking about Steinhafels and their partnership with the Packers and Special Spaces Wisconsin to create these dream bedrooms for children battling cancer all across Wisconsin. Every time the Packers make a field goal, that's $1,000 from Steinhafels to Special Spaces. And for the season, despite Braden Narvison's inconsistency early on, 14 field goals. So we're already up to $14,000 from Steinhafels to Special Spaces.
Are game winners double,
Wisconsin.
or is that not?
I'll have to talk to Andrew Steinhafel and Chad Dern and Danny and everybody else over there.
Game winners that's probably worth.
That's not my department.
At least double.
Yeah, some would suggest triple or quadruple. If you see field goals on Sunday at Lambeau Field against the Lions, though, make sure you think of Steinhafels and Special Spaces. They are partnering along with the Packers, again, to create dream bedrooms for children battling cancer all across Wisconsin. This season, every time the Packers make a field goal, Steinhafels donates $1,000 to Special Spaces Wisconsin. Steinhafels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress leader since 1934. They are 100% employee-owned, and they are a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers. Packers-Lions. Yes, we will talk about the game, and we'll do it next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Mark Tauscher here, and these days I am sleeping better than ever. I am so thankful I met with the great team at Advent to help solve my sleeping problems. The Advent team is so great to work with, and their consultations are very informative. The Advent team listened to my struggles, and rather than forcing a surgery, they helped me find the best solution for a better night's sleep. My family and I are so thankful the solutions from Advent worked. To see how they can help you with snoring, sleep apnea, and nasal breathing problems, go to adventknows.com, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for 60 months.
Visit PellaWI.com.
Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply.
The biggest game of the season takes place this Sunday in Green Bay. Be there with help from the Ticket King. With offices in Milwaukee and Green Bay, Ticket King is your local and most trusted source to buy Green Bay tickets. Experience the huge matchup this Sunday against Detroit by visiting theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007. Don't wait. Get tickets for Sunday's monumental divisional tilt with Detroit at theticketking.com. Make sure you follow Ticket King on Facebook and Instagram.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Homer here to tell you about Rawhide Youth Services. Co-founded in 1965 by Bart and Cherry Starr, Rawhide is a faith-based nonprofit that helps thousands of youth every year, many right here in Milwaukee, overcome trauma, suicidal thoughts, and live better lives. For youth who are hurting, who feel lost or abandoned, and families feeling powerless to help them, Rawhide is there to help. They also need vehicle donations to support their mission of helping hurting youth transform their future. Donate to Rawhide Youth Services. Visit rawhide.org/donate.
Save big money on your next project right now at Menards, your lighting headquarters. Find the perfect lighting for your home with new selectable color temperature True Wave LED bulbs from Sylvania. Simply adjust the color temperature to change the lighting in a snap. Save big on Sylvania True Wave selectable color temperature bulbs. Plus, don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
Republic of Congo. Yes, sir. And Spain.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Serge Ibaka. Yes, sir.
Also supported by Carbliss, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
One of the best chefs in the world.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
Only way to get me, you have to come to Paris.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
All right, Seth and Columbus and everyone else wondering, in the famous words of Vince Lombardi, what the hell's going on out here? Let's talk some Packers. Let's talk about Jordan Love and where he's at in terms of his recovery. Again, Tausch with unique experience. He did not play quarterback in the NFL, but he did tear a groin muscle off its bone and missed 4 games with that injury, we believe. Have to go back in the archives and look.
It was either 3 or 4, yeah.
Jordan Love did not practice yesterday. We will see what he does today. Malik Willis took all the number 1 reps yesterday, which is probably a good thing, because if Love's not ready to go, slightly different game plan. And you need Malik Willis to get work with that game plan. But I am concerned, as I have stated throughout the week already, about the risk with a relatively, compared to what it could have been, minor injury that is a soft tissue injury, and exacerbating it by playing and then really doing something, and then you're missing 4 games after the bye or 3 games after the bye, like Tausch with his injury. So I thought it was important to establish, because he did play through it, right? Happened on the opening series, doesn't depart until the 3rd quarter, so he played through it. So I don't want people thinking he wasn't in pain. So I asked him about his pain level during the game against Jacksonville and as he came out of the game in the third quarter. Here's that conversation.
Jordan, how much pain were you in when you were trying to leave the field? Because it looked like you were trying to get to the sideline, and then could you not get there, or did they tell you to go down, or what?
Yeah, my leg was just locking up, so I couldn't make it to the sideline right there, so I just went down.
So how does it feel now compared to that? How much progress do you think you've made?
Yeah, I've made progress. It's definitely feeling better. I think every day there'll be some improvements to it, but definitely feels better than it did on Sunday.
Yeah, that's not particularly reassuring to me. I'm glad it feels better than it did on Sunday. But, again, because I did get after John in the YouTube comments about this, it hurt so much he couldn't get all the way to the sideline. And the way that last play that he was involved in played out, right? He looked like he kind of moved suddenly in the pocket, which may have made it worse. And then, like, the coup de grace when Walker goes by and jostles him after the play is over. That's not great that he was in that much pain then. So I'm glad that he's getting treatment and it's getting better. But Tausch, does that tell you anything in terms of trying to figure out and discern whether or not he's going to be able to play with this on Sunday?
I think it makes it much more difficult to envision that he's going to be able to get back up and do it. I don't know the severity of the pull. You get that, and then you get your scan back, and it'll be all white. That means there's a ton of inflammation. You can kind of see where it's at, and then you adjust, and you go all week. You're trying to get it as strong and let as much scar lay down as you can, and you hope you can move around enough if it is tore or if it's sprained in a big way, depending on how much that is. You can tape and limit some movement, and it will help, but you're going to react and do things the way you always do because that's how football players go. And that's when you have to worry about overextending it, and then any of the little bit of scarring that has come, you rip that and then rip more. Then you're sitting there and that clock resets. That's the hard part about this. So the fact that he didn't do anything yesterday, okay, I get it. If he doesn't do anything today, if he's not down there and doing anything,
it's Rap City, USA.
You have to really think that there's going to be a limited opportunity for him. Even if he goes out there on Friday and does a little bit of stuff, I would think at that point you start really thinking about it. And then obviously Saturday, if they elevate a quarterback, you'll know he's not playing. So that's the timeline this week. I know people don't want to be patient with it, but that's where you're at. And the fact that he's not overly exuberant about where he's at right now tends to make me feel the same way as where you're at, Jason.
All right. So then the other question, I asked him some other questions too, but the other question I asked him, you and I would agree, or maybe we wouldn't. You tell me if I'm wrong in assuming this. The easy thing to do, because you want to be a good teammate and you want to be the stand-up guy and you want to be tough, is to play. I'm playing. Don't care if it hurts. Shoot me up, whatever. I'm playing. To me, the hard thing is to be able to say, you know what? We got a better chance with Malik, and I don't belong out there because I could really screw up our entire season if I play. That, to me, is the harder thing to say. Because no one that's worth their salt wants to admit that they shouldn't play. Nobody. Lord knows Favre was never going to admit that. The dude ran onto the field after being diagnosed with a concussion. He ran past the trainers and the coaches and threw a touchdown against the Giants. I believe you were on the field for that play. So I don't think Jordan wants to miss this game. He understands it's a big game. But what I asked him was, all right, you're tough. Do you have it in you to not play? Here's how that exchange went.
Jordan, I know you've got the toughness and the pride and the commitment to your team to play, and if you're hurt, do you have it in you to not play if it's not the right decision?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of that happened with my knee injury, you know. Just trying to push it as much as I can throughout the week and, you know, get to the end of the week and, you know, listen to the trainers, be smart. But if it's not ready, if it's, you know, not time to go, definitely not trying to push it because like we always say, it's a long season. So definitely want to be able to be available for the rest of the season.
Definitely want to be able to be available for the rest of the season.
You don't think he's playing?
I don't. I'll be happy if I'm wrong. I hope he plays and stays healthy.
You're taking your J School hat off. This is just Jason Wilde's opinion, right? You like prefacing it that way?
As Adam Schefter might say, I am not reporting this. This is just a guess. This is not a report. This is a guess. I'm guessing he's not playing. Which, by the way, from the indications that we've received thus far, is probably the right call for the long-term health of your quarterback and the rest of the season. You look at the schedule, okay? And I love the Malik Willis story. You know I love the Malik Willis story. I am Mr. Malik Willis. I mean, he's Mr. Malik Willis, but you know what I mean. But I look at the games that are left on the Packers schedule and on the Lions schedule, and there are some tough games for both of those teams. Games that the Lions could lose no matter who they have out there. You know, they have to play at San Francisco. The Packers have San Francisco at home. Also on the Lions' schedule are the Buffalo Bills, the Houston Texans, both of their Bears games, one more of their Vikings games. They play at Indianapolis, which looks like a tougher game now that they're actually going to play a veteran quarterback who will stay in the game the entire time. So what I'm saying is they could stumble a few games, and even if the Packers lose this one, they still have another shot at them in Detroit the Thursday after Thanksgiving, and there's still a bunch of other games that I don't know how many of them they would win with Malik Willis if Malik Willis had to start 4 consecutive games because Jordan Love tore the groin off the bone by playing in this game. Yes, but you also know that I am Mike McCarthy, high side of caution guy. That's my inclination. So I'm not risking him this week, but I'm not making that decision.
I think the pressure is on the Detroit Lions here, in my opinion. I think all of the pressure is on Detroit. And if it's Malik Willis, it's even more so on Detroit. So this isn't going to make or break your season. It is a big game. There is no doubt. But I said last week, and I'll continue to say it, if he is not over 80% and can't go out and play the way he needs to play, the fact that the bye is next, the fact you get 20 days to let this thing heal and give you an opportunity to finish this season off healthy is much more important to me as an outside observer. I get where Jordan's coming from. I know he wants to play. I know he's going to push. But that's why you have adults in the room that are going to help you make a good, solid decision. And I do think the right, good, solid decision, if he is under 80%, and that's the variable I don't have an answer to. Did you ask him where he's at percentage-wise?
I didn't. I was admonished on this very program.
By me. Yeah, but you could get it from him.
Oh, sure.
No, I admonished you.
So
yeah,
let me ask you this there, Mr. Percentage, before you tell us about Prize Picks. You didn't like that question. You wanted me to ask Jordan that question. But the question I have for you, Johnny PCT, that's abbreviation for percentage, is this. Did you know what percentage you were? Like, I get it. You were messing, Wilde. Let's mess with them. I was 72.8%. But are players actually able to know? I feel like I'm about 85%, or I feel like I'm 60%.
Players can give you a range to let you know. Nobody is ever going to say, I'm at 28%. Nobody's going to say that. You're always going to be 50+.
Agreed.
And if you're down in the 50s, that means you're really in the 20s. So subtract 20% typically from these guys unless they're back practicing. And then you say, well, I'm close to 100%. That's if they say you're close to 100%, they're probably going to play. If they're telling you 75%, that means that's a coin toss. I don't know. I don't feel great. My guess is that's where Jordan's at. And can he get better? He'll feel better as he's not doing stuff, and he's just letting that bed of scar lay down, and hopefully it gets rolling, and then you feel a little bit stronger, and you hopefully can go out there and play. That would be ideal. But just listening to him and kind of figuring it out, I think he's going to push hard, and I think it's going to be out of his hands come Sunday. And then I really think I'll be fired up to watch how this will look with Malik Willis, too. Mm-hmm. Normally I would say, nah. But if Jordan can't go, I might actually say I might be more excited to watch how and what Matt LaFleur does with this offense to try and keep up with what Detroit's doing.
I would agree.
Aren't you not accounting for 20% in your player availability math? Because if you say you subtract 20% based on what they say, unless they say they're close to 100%. So if they say they're 90%, you're really at 70%. But at what point
but they wouldn't say 90. They would say I'm close to 100. I don't think you ever say 90. You're going to say about 80%, and then it's really about 60%.
So when you said earlier this week you need Jordan Love at 80%, how are you supposed to know when he's at 80%?
Yeah, but
because there
saying
is no way to get that.
Yeah, Jesse, I actually need him to be 80%, which in his mind is he's close to 100%. And that's where the 20% comes off. I don't understand what you don't understand about that. Simple math. Prize Picks, the best place to get real money into your sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Prize Picks, the only real money daily fantasy platform with injury insurance. So your lineup stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. Your player leaves in the first half. I think that happened last week, as a matter of fact. Prize Picks will keep your lineup live. Prize Picks puts their members first to all withdrawals. They're fast, they're safe, they're secure. When your picks hit, you get your money in as quick as 15 minutes. And now, win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. Download the app today. Use that code WI. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Again, code WI, $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run
your
game.
I thought I was doing the run and the game. You changed it yesterday. What? I never know what I'm doing.
I don't
here.
know where we're at. It's we got masks on. It's hot. I understand. Yeah, I'll take that one. That's me.
Were you at about 80% on your read there?
Which is more like 60?
No, that's fair.
All right, I want to talk a little bit more about Malik Willis. He's making my life difficult, which I'm sure you would enjoy. I'll explain next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde. Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzik, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we're the cold weather experts, offering unbeatable deals on the gear and supplies you need to get ready for winter. Like 30% off all zero exposure outerwear for the family. All Trico wiper blades are buy one, get one half price. Get $120 instant savings when you buy 4 Cooper tires. Rewards members save an extra $50. Plus, get up to $100 in additional savings by consumer rebate when you buy 4.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
I'm very familiar with Gruber Law Offices because they're always out in the community.
Gruber Law Offices are known to be honest, hardworking.
They're always involved in our neighborhoods.
Gruber Law Offices make our community a better place.
They are the best. For nearly 40 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped people throughout Wisconsin. If you're injured, we're here to help. One call, that's all.
Wisconsin would not be the same without Gruber Law Offices.
Change the way you do business and take more control of the payment process with Fifth Third Bank's Treasury Management Solutions. Their market expertise and managed services streamline the entire payment process and integrate with your existing systems, giving you more control than ever. With their suite of payment solutions, you will soon recognize new revenue sources that can save time, offset operating costs, and improve the bottom line, all customized for your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
There's a good chance you're on a budget. We all are. But she wants a diamond. You know it. I know it. And Robert Hack Diamonds knows it too, because they offer a huge collection of lab-grown diamonds, and they sell them at crazy prices. How about 2-carat total weight diamond studs for $8.95? Robert Hack Diamonds can get any size, shape, or clarity in natural or lab-grown diamonds. Don't buy until you call Robert Hack Diamonds. $8.95 for a 2-carat pair of diamond studs. Oh, baby! Robert Hack Diamonds in Greenfield and in Brookfield. Why overspend when you can save at Robert Hack Diamonds for the same diamond you're looking for? Some jewelers are charging nearly $5,000 for a lab-grown diamond. Not Robert Hack. Your visit will be worth it, and she'll think so too. Robert Hack also offers repair services in cash for your old gold. But remember, before you do anything, as I did, RobertHackDiamonds.com, and visit them in Brookfield or in Greenfield.
Green and gold fans, it's game day. And you know what that means. Tailgating with friends and raising a glass to our favorite team. This season, make Bacardi the star of your pregame party. Whether you're mixing up a classic Bacardi and Cola, refreshing Bacardi Lime and Soda, or a smooth spiced and Cola, Bacardi is the perfect pick for game day fun. Grab a bottle and get ready to cheer on Green Bay with the best in hand. Available now at your local retailer. Live passionately, drink responsibly. Bacardi USA, Miami, Florida. Rum 40% alcohol by volume.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Scheduled to appear at the top of the hour here is our friend TJ Lang. Former Packer, former Lion, member of the Lions radio network team. Does he just pretend that Packers career didn't happen? He's a Michigan guy.
Oh.
Kind of a tough spot for him, don't you think?
There's some very sensitive vibes when it comes to that. And so you guys continue to put me in bad spots, asking me constantly for my former teammates to join the show all the time and to do these things. So what do I get a text back last night? After you guys text me, hey, can you get TJ on the show? What do you think he texted me? What do you think?
No.
Of course, old T. Great to hear from you.
No. Dang, you're needy, bro. Dang, you're needy, bro.
Oh, snap.
And that's the thing I try to avoid because I understand. One a year is typically where I like kind of going.
Did you assign him headlines also? Is that like why he thinks you're
and
so
I start
needy?
getting 2 to 3, and then it's like, you're doing the players only. So he made me. He's coming on though, supposedly. We'll see. But I just want to give you a little glimpse into me as a guest booker. It's kind of can be a little bit of a pain in the tuchus.
Thank you for your service.
A pain in the tuchus.
Wow. And in fairness, I wouldn't do it for a lot. TJ is really good on the radio.
No doubt.
Like he is on the players only. I mean, he could have went 6 hours. Like he's got the chops.
Right. And instead, you only kept him for a half, and now he's got plenty left in the tank to join us now, which he's going to do next.
Well, there you go.
And maybe you could send him a handle of Tito's vodka as a thank you, because I know you've got the hookup from them, and he would get to say,
Yeah, Tito's handmade vodka. Okay, Tito's handmade vodka on game day. Yeah, from a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch. Root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. Stack a spicy, salt the rim of a Tito Rita, or take home the win with a Tito's and whatever. You're calling the game. You change up your roster or wash that lucky jersey as long as you make Tito's your first-round bottle pick. Whose house? Oh, it's Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
TJ Lang scheduled to appear because Tausch
He's got to be rooting
swallowed.
for Detroit, right?
Needy Tausch asked him to come on the show, and he obliged. You're needy, bro.
Maybe.
We'll find out all together in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Don't miss a moment of football this season at 3rd Street Market Hall in downtown Milwaukee, your one-stop, must-stop viewing destination. 3rd Street Market Hall has over 15 locally owned food vendors, a self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, and game day specials. What more could you need? If you're not at the game, this is the place to be every Saturday and Sunday. View the vendor list and 30 self-serve beer options at 3rdstreetmarkethall.com. That's 3rdstreetmarkethall.com.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff. We like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated and uncompromising. Like an award-winning men's grooming experience from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Open 7 days a week, even Sundays. Walk in anytime, and before you know it, our talented stylist will bring you back to a simpler time. A time when you were handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
It started with a prediction.
Go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this fall? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman from 2 to 5 every day. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 10 o'clock hours of Wilde and Tausch. Which, by the way, I am extremely appreciative that TJ is joining us. But I think it conveys how much we appreciate it and how good we know he is, that a show that sucks at managing the clock to get to people on time has gotten to him largely on time. It's a statement on what we think of him.
Great job, Jason.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're in control,
You're
baby.
welcome.
That's really well done.
Yeah.
By you.
You're not the easiest guy to control, as TJ well knows. Joining us now, he is a former Packer. He is a former Lion. Awkward. He is a member of the Detroit Lions radio network broadcasts. And he is, well, he's Tausch's friend. Maybe he's my friend. I don't know. I don't want to make any assumptions. It is TJ Lang on Wilde and Tausch. I'm sorry? Uh-oh.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Hey,
there you go.
hi.
Sorry. I had a bad network connection. Had to switch over real quick.
That's a nice chandelier you
I
got
love
there.
that. TJ, I love that ceiling with the chandelier. What is that considered? Like, is that crown marbling? What is that?
I don't know. I think
that
it's just
little
regular
circle
plywood. That part. Yeah, I
looks
don't know.
great.
I think it's just wood.
Looks absolutely great.
I didn't build the house. I don't know what it consists of.
Welcome to HGTV with TJ Lang. I think it's plywood.
That's not even the nicest chandelier in the house, Big T. I should take you to the living room.
Oh, that's. Can we get a digi only? Since I ask you to do everything and you're so accommodating, we'll do a digi only where TJ gives us like a look at his whole house. This is just one of your like 3 houses, so that would be even better.
That's false. This is the only one I own currently.
TJ, I try to pride myself in not putting you guys in awkward spots with my questions on live radio, or in this instance, radio and YouTube and video. But I am curious.
About the election, are you?
No, trust me, I'm not going there. Especially not with you. But
What are you doing?
I am curious. What is it like when the Packers play the Lions? Because obviously you won a Super Bowl with the Packers. We think of you, at least on our show, as a Packer, but you were a Pro Bowler with the Lions. You're a Michigan guy. Like, what is it like for you when these two teams play each other?
Yeah, I mean, I can honestly say I don't really root for one over the other, you know, and like you said, I mean, most of my career, 8 years was out of my 10 years was in Green Bay. I mean, I consider myself a Green Bay Packer. You know, I never did the official, you know, retirement. Hey, I'm going to retire with this team. If I had to, I think everybody would obviously know it would be the Packers. I mean, that was where the majority of my success was, and that's where I consider myself. Playing with this Lions team for a couple of years and then working with them for the past 4 years, like, yeah, I do consider myself now to be a small part of, you know, that organization. And certainly I'm enjoying what they've been doing and the success that they've had. But I think when I first got out of the NFL, I was rooting for the Lions because that was my most recent team.
Mm-hmm.
But now over the past couple of years, you know, that I've been retired, it's man, this is just a tough matchup. I mean, I probably – whoever wins, I mean, I think these are probably the two best teams in the NFC, and I really honestly don't find myself finding, you know, I want the Lions to win, or I want the Packers to win. It's just I honestly want to see a good game, and I think we're going to get a hell of a game Sunday afternoon up in Lambeau.
Welcome to my world. You just want a good game with good storylines, entertaining. This is awesome. TJ and I are alike.
Out of the year.
So, TJ, what I had the question. All right.
The Packers had a lot of success for a long time, you know, and part of me was, hey, I want the Lions to know what that feels like, you know. And the first couple of years, Dan Campbell were a little rough, but now that they're getting to taste that success, I can't help but to be happy for them just to see how they've turned it around. I mean, we did that, you know, my entire career in Green Bay. We had a chance every year, we felt like, to win the Super Bowl, and you want other teams to just feel what that feels like in the emotion and the ride that takes you on. And I think that, you know, the Lions over the past year and a half now are starting to finally get a taste of what we had for so long in Green Bay.
So, TJ, that's interesting, the Dan Campbell part of this, because it was a struggle. And even in year 2, I think, was it 1-6 or 1-7 that they started on, that finished strong? What is it about him? Because now the machine is rolling, and it just shows that patience played out. What is it about Dan Campbell that has made him so successful in rebuilding and getting this program moving in the right direction?
Well, first of all, they brought in the right type of people. You know, I think that in today's NFL, and it's easy to, you know, take a swing at the lowest hanging fruit. Hey, let's just go spend on a bunch of free agents. Hey, let's just go bring in some patch pieces that can get us through a year. You know, we're not really building a team, but maybe we can be competitive one of these years. They did it the right way. They knew they were going to take their lumps early on. And, you know, going back to the Penei Sewell pick, you know, I think a lot of people in Detroit they love our offensive linemen, don't get me wrong, but that's not really a needle mover. You want to, especially when all these receivers are coming off the board, and man, we can get a star player, right? Guys that are going to score touchdowns and have all these big stats. They chose to build it a different route with, some guys that are going to come in and really be difference makers when it comes to just the characteristics that they have, the leadership styles. Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Aiden Hutchinson, and bringing in Jared Goff, who I think has been kind of one of the, in my opinion, one of the most admirable turnarounds from a player. I mean, you go from a guy that wasn't wanted by anybody, got seemingly kicked out of a team that he did a lot for out in the Rams, took him to a Super Bowl, won a lot of games, and watch him turn his career around. But I think that the common theme with a lot of these guys are like they genuinely feel like they all have an underdog type of story, and I think that they've brought in enough pieces with that same mindset, of there's no divas on this team. There's nobody holding out for a new contract. There's nobody requesting a trade. You know what I mean? You just did it the right way, and you took your lumps, but you're starting to see now, probably even fast forwarded than maybe even they would have thought when they first took this thing over. You're really starting to see all that pay off. And now you're in a position where maybe you can start to make some of those moves. I know the trade deadline's coming up next week, but okay, we've got the foundation built. We've got, we know who our top 10, dozen, 15 guys are that are going to be here for the long haul. Can we go out and take a chance at bringing somebody else in, that maybe can get us over that hump or close the gap a little bit, what you see with the rest of the NFL. And obviously, like you mentioned, Dan Campbell, I think he's a guy, Tausch, that you and I, just being old school guys, would have loved to play for him. He does remind me of Mike McCarthy in a way that it's like, hey, just take care of your business. I'm not going to micromanage you. No BS. Let's keep it all about football. I'm going to trust you guys, but don't make me look like an ass. You know what I mean? And and his guys respect that, and his guys like that. And I can tell you what you guys see probably on highlights of him, when it comes out nationally, that's who he is every day. I mean, he's open, he's honest, he doesn't really have a poker face. Like, he's just going to tell you how it is. And I think as players, Tausch, and you can speak to this, I think the one thing you always want the most maybe from your head coach is just consistency. Be the same guy day in, day out. Don't come in one day and, oh, man, what kind of mood's he going to be in today? How is this day going to – you know what I mean? Players don't want that. They don't respect that. And I think Dan Campbell has that, and I think that's a big part of why he's able to, keep this team on page seemingly day to day and really week to week.
Now, one of the things that Mike used to always tell us is how you handle success, and that was going to be the biggest challenge. And now Detroit, obviously, ton of success last year, right at the doorstep of going to a Super Bowl. How has this team went from being the kind of, that's the same old Lions, to now being, by most people, viewed as the best team outside of Kansas City in the whole NFL? How have they handled all that success?
It's funny because going back last year to the NFC Championship game, like, part of you feels like they skipped the line a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, there's supposed to be this progression where, hey, the year before, right, they were 9-8, right? Okay, the next year the goal is just to get into the playoffs, right? And then maybe the next year, hey, now we got to start winning the division. Then maybe, you know what I mean? It seems like there's kind of a process you have to take to getting to the successful point. And last year, boom, they win 12 games. They win the division. They win 2 playoff games. They're in an NFC Championship game, and you're sitting there saying, like, man, they kind of skipped the line a little bit. Like, they've never gone through a run like this. They don't know what the pain is of losing in an NFC Championship, or at this point, right? The pain of losing a playoff game or being in a situation like that. I think it kind of helped them last year because they didn't really know any better. And that was a question coming into this year. Is this going to be a letdown year? Are there guys – guys are getting paid now. I mean, Amon-Ra, Jared Goff, Penei Sewell, Aleem McNeil a couple weeks ago. These guys signing massive deals. How are they going to respond to that? How are they going to keep it together? How are they going to respond to the fact that, man, we're having a lot of success and this thing is completely 180'd on us from where we were a couple years ago? But honestly, it's a testament to Dan Campbell. Like, he does such an incredible job. One of the craziest stats, like, I think in the last 25, maybe 30 games, like, they haven't lost back-to-back in, like, 2 years. He gets his team ready. Even last week, you're looking at, okay, man, you're 11-point favorites over not a very good Titans team, but that could kind of fall into that trap game category. and they go out and just blow that team. I think it's a testament to Dan Campbell just keeping his guys so laser focused on what we need to do today. You know what I mean? Like, these guys don't even really talk about the playoffs. Like, they talk about, we got a division game, man. We're not worried about that. Like, this season's so far ahead of us. And Dan Campbell, when you really listen to him, he doesn't even really make it a focal point to tell his team, we got to go win. We got to go win. We got to do whatever it takes to win. Focal point of, we got to find a way to improve. You know what I mean? We got to find a way to do what we're supposed to do. Go out there, and as long as we get better, we got a chance to beat anybody. You know what I mean? And I think that takes a little bit of pressure off the players when it comes to, we just got to go win. We got to win. It's just, hey, let's keep it focused. Let's go out there, find a way to get better each week. And the guys, I mean, they do a hell of a job doing that.
Well, and also the fun. It just looks like that Cowboys game, from an O-lineman standpoint, they got Sewell going out there on like a hook and ladder, and they got the skipper reporting on the first play. That's the stuff that you know your team is tight when you're doing that, and what Ben Johnson has been able to do to bring all of that fun, and him coming back and passing on some of those head coaching opportunities, that's where this offense is really rolling, and I think a lot of that has to do with obviously the guys up front, but they're also incorporating and putting roles and just having a ton of fun. At least that's what it looks like from the outside. Hey, look at that little whippersnapper back there.
There's Parker. They just
hey, young fella.
I think, you know, the plays, the fun plays like that, you wait every game just to see something like what Ben Johnson's going to draw up. But you're right, Tausch. I think that's the coach's way of rewarding his guys play. You know what I mean? Hey, guys, go take care of what you're supposed to do. And then, boom, we hit the third quarter. You know, we're going to send in that formation. We're going to hope we get that call, and we're going to run it. Because those plays, you know, man, as soon as you hear the formation or the bell, right away you just can't help but to smile because you know what's coming. You know what I mean? And you know it's going to be a fun play. So I think that's their way of really kind of rewarding those guys, but also a way of Ben Johnson to continue to find ways to be creative. You know what I mean? That, like, especially down the rate they've had, you know, 4 out of the past 5 weeks, something. Last week was a halfback pass. You know, the week before, I mean, Seattle game, they're throwing, you know, reverse pass or golf. That's just a way to be creative, but also reward your guys. And I think that you're right, man. Ben Johnson is maybe, I don't even know if he's underrated at this point, but what he does for that team is incredible. And I think that the most important relationship in any football team is your quarterback and your play caller. And Ben Johnson and Jared Goff have been together for a couple years now, and it's almost like they just look at each other, you know, from 50 yards away, and it's like, okay, is this the time? Yeah, okay, he knows what I'm thinking, right? This is the time to call this play. And the relationship that they have, just being on the same page, is massive, man. I mean, we've all seen it maybe the other way, where a quarterback gets a little ticked off at some play calls, right?
When does that happen? I've never seen that. Did that ever happen?
Gosh, you played long enough. I played 10 years. I played with, you know, maybe 8 different quarterbacks. I'm not throwing anybody in the bus, but you know how it can go down that road at times. But,
yes, indeed.
It seems like Jared and Ben just get along. They hold each other accountable, and that's been a huge part of you know, why this offense has, man, just been so explosive this year so far.
Talking with TJ Lang, ex-Packers and ex-Lions offensive lineman, and part of the Detroit Lions radio network. Tausch, you're not a believer in Jared Goff, right? I don't want to misquote you here.
I am a believer if you keep him clean and he's in the pocket, and with what Detroit's done offensive line-wise, you need to get him off his spot. And I don't know if TJ would agree. Goff is really good when things are right there. It's the ad-libbing. If I'm Green Bay's defensive coordinator, I'm Jeff Hafley, I'm saying we can't let him get comfortable, because I do think he'll turn it over. I think that's the key to this game this weekend. And if you can get Detroit to sit in 3rd and 6+, I like Green Bay's defense against Goff.
Tej, do you think Tausch is right about that?
Yeah, I'm with you, and I think that honestly, you could say that about a lot of quarterbacks. That if you have to, you know, get them off their spot, they're not great. Jared Goff, no doubt, man. Like he's kind of shown over time, like yeah, you put some pressure on him, and now he's done a better job this year of like just some subtle move pocket and helping his guys out, stepping up at the right times. But that's kind of the last couple years. I think the majority of his career, he was not very good against the blitz, and I don't really know what has changed this year. Is if it's just having Amon-Ra or having a guy like Jamison Williams that we're not going to see this week. Obviously, he's suspended, but having him has, I think, forced a lot of teams out of pressure in Jared Goff because if it does get picked up, you got a guy that's running the 4-2 down the sideline, and that ain't fun for anybody. But I'm with you. I think that's an important matchup this week. One thing that I'm impressed with Jeff Hafley. I mean, every week you turn on the film and there's like new pressures and there's new fronts and there's new twists and there's new wrinkles every single week depending on who they're playing. And I think that's important, man. I think that's something that Aaron Glenn is going to have to do, quite honestly, now that they don't have Aiden Hutchinson and that he's shown he can do a little bit the last couple of weeks. But yeah, I think that in being on the road, you're playing a team like that where you don't know who's rushing, you don't know who's dropping. Communication can easily break down, and you can get some free hits on the quarterback. Now, Detroit's done a good job at that this year, but the times they didn't, even last week, be honest with you, I mean, Jared Goff gets sacked on the first play of the game. He fumbled that ball. You know what I mean? And he's able to get back on it. But that game could look different if you go out there in the first play and get a sack, fumble going the other way. And even later in the game, he took another shot, fumbled the ball, got back on it. But he's doing a nice job this year, I think, of taking better care of the football. But you're right, T. I mean, I think that's fair to say that if you get pressure on him, that there could potentially be mistakes. We just haven't really seen it yet this year because I think that the communication and the plan that Ben Johnson has for the pressure has really worked. It'll be interesting to see if offensive line holds up just against a four-man rush. You know what I mean? Taylor Decker's not coming off his best game last week. He got beat a couple times, pretty clean around the edge. Guys on the interior, a little bit slippy at times. So if Green Bay can get home with just rushing four, I think that'll be a recipe for their defense to have success against Jared Goff and that offense.
And that's been the biggest question mark for this defense, that Rashawn Gary and Kenny and the guys have not consistently gotten home with four. And Hafley has adjusted, and he's brought different guys, whether it's Keyshawn or they're bringing guys off the perimeter, Edgerrin Cooper. So that's going to be a fun matchup to watch as well. And I think last one for me, Hutchinson's injury was obviously he's a stud, and he's such a difference maker. Do you think Detroit has to go out and pick somebody up to kind of solidify that? Because defensively, I think if Jordan Love was healthy, I love this matchup. I think Green Bay's going to put some points up. We saw that last year. With no Hutchinson and not having that guy that can get there, you think Detroit needs to make a move?
Yes, 100%, absolutely. And I think this weekend is probably going to solidify that fact. Now, you're only going to have a couple days until the deadline after Sunday. But, yeah, and I don't think that they have to go, spend a couple first-round picks and get some, all-pro guy in here. But, yeah, last week, I mean, it's hard to find negatives when you win 52-14. But you look at that pass rush, and there are times where, they're rushing four, and you're just like, man, nobody's even getting close to Mason Rudolph. You know what I mean? Like, this is a problem. This is not going to be sustainable. And I think where the Lions are at right now, look, I mentioned I think they're the best team in the NFC, and I think Green Bay's right behind. But I mean, I do think there is a little bit of a gap there, just as we sit here right now with the way that Detroit's offense is playing. But next week that contending teams are going to make moves. I mean, San Francisco has shown every year that they're going to go make a move. I mean, Brian Gutekunst, he talks all the time that he's in every conversation, right? They probably feel where they're at right now, they've got a chance. So if you stand pat, you're going to let everybody else close the gap on you. You know what I mean? Other teams are going to find a way to improve over the next couple days. And if you're the Lions, it hasn't been their MO to go get anybody, but they've never been in this position before where they've said realistically, we might have a shot at the whole thing this year. Now, I don't think you have to sell the farm or trade off a bunch of future pieces to do that, but Tausch, they absolutely need to go get somebody because there's just, without Aaron Glenn coming up with exotic looks, to bring 6-7 guys, safeties, nickel, they weren't even getting close last week to putting any sort of pressure on that Titans passing attack. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But, yeah, they definitely need some help.
Sounds like a four-man rush that I've been familiar with watching with the Packers as well. That's why the Packers need to go get Trey Hendrickson before the Lions get him. All right, TJ, I know that Tausch was very needy by asking you to be on the show, so I don't want to keep you any longer. I only have one really pertinent question, and that is this. I'm looking at pictures of you.
Seem to come one way in this.
Full-size candy bars.
Dude, if you ever asked me for anything, you know that I and Tausch would do whatever you needed. So,
I'm not needy.
You're not, exactly. I was just about to say that. Here's my question. I'm looking at pictures of you in your Lions uniform, and I'm looking at pictures of Aiden Hutchinson in his Lions uniform. Do you ever get mistaken for Aiden Hutchinson around the greater Detroit area?
No. People have told me there's similarities, but yeah, I don't think there's any mistake in a 6'7", bodybuilder, 268 Hutchinson. He does have a massive head, though, and I will say I'm in the massive head club as well. Big T, he's the founding member. But yes, I have been complimented before that there are some familiarities and similarities there.
Okay, I was just curious, but I know at your peak of your athletic powers, I'm sure those comparisons could have been made more effectively. All right, we look forward to seeing you. You'll be here, right? You'll be on the radio broadcast. You'll be in town.
Yes, sir. Can't wait, man. You guys know I love coming back to Lambeau Field. That's a special place for me.
But more importantly, in my house, are Laura and the kids coming, or are they staying home? Because my family doesn't really care if you're here. But if JJ was here, I know Sydney would be excited.
No, the boys' hockey schedule, it's pretty packed this weekend, so they're going to be hanging back, holding down the fort here in Detroit, skating, hopefully scoring some goals. It's been a while.
Well, we look forward to you being here. I hope I get to see you on game day. Give Laura and the kiddos our best. And, hey, thanks for always being there when we're needy. I'm sure there'll be another time, probably a week after Thanksgiving, that we're calling again.
Yeah, it's a good. Yeah, let me put that. I'll put that down on the schedule. How about the Tuesday before that game?
Perfect.
I'll write it down.
Book it. Perfect. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate you.
All right, fellas. Have a good one.
All right, that is TJ Lang. Tausch, you're right. Like, the drawback for TJ is that he's as good as he is, because that makes us want to have him on more and more. And if he sucked, we wouldn't bother to call him. But he's fantastic, and we're happy for him. He's found a role with the Lions. But
no shock. It's not a shock to me or to anybody else that this game, it's going to be, and I know we have our game day preview and everything else, it's going to be a line of scrimmage game. That's what Detroit is. That's what Green Bay needs to be. If they're going to win, they have to be able to. I with no Hutchinson, I like the matchup a lot for Green Bay. I do.
Yeah. I like it better with Jordan Love at quarterback, though, than I do with Malik Willis. And I'm a Malik Willis athletic supporter, but I don't know how long the magic keeps going. And this feels like a game where if he plays, there could be some moments where Aaron Glenn has some things dialed up for him that make things difficult. We will see if he plays how that goes. All right, we'll talk more about Packers-Lions coming up. Want to remind you, as I tell you all the time, I hope you never have to make the call, because that means you have not, or someone you love has not, been seriously injured in an accident. But if that does happen, you want to have the best in the business on your side, and that is Gruber Offices. One call, that's all. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666. Go to the website, find out everything you need to know about the firm, about David and his history in our communities, and about all the great lawyers they have on their team, because they will win for you. 414-276-6666, Gruber Offices. One call, that's all. More Wilde and Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
This is Wilde
and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. the best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Hop in or hop online at uwcu.org to join. A chance for bragging rights across the board. Badger football hoping to claim the Heartland Trophy against Iowa on Saturday. 7th-ranked volleyball looking to take down number 2 Nebraska Friday night. And top-ranked women's hockey seeking to remain undefeated. Forward Layla Edwards on their weekend clash at number 7 St. Cloud State.
It's a great test for our team to see, what we're made of, what we're capable of, because, we're going to spend a little more time in the D zone probably, things we get to work on in that zone, and then, our ability to score against good teams and, put up good numbers. It's a great test, so I love those games, and I think we all do.
Pella's windows and doors feature durable materials, custom colors, and innovative features like shades between the glass. Get 0% interest for up to 36 months at PellaWI.com.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Sam Steiner is joining me. How important is it that actual surgery is viewed as a last option?
The way we always want to treat people is try and do something least invasive to get people where they want to be. And in some cases, that means talking to them, setting them up with a therapist, explaining what they have going on. And in other cases, if it comes to it, then yes, it means operating on them.
When you're dealing with very active people, how do you help them handle the entire process of recovery?
The hardest part with some patients is explain to them that even though you feel great, you do have to have a period where you lay off, you adhere to precautions and protocol. But I think when you take a person, you have them do the least invasive procedure. That's what we want to do, is we want to be forefront, cutting edge, doing the least invasive possible to get people back onto a protocol that gets them back into the activity they want to do the fastest.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
It's on to level 2 for Catholic Memorial. The top-seeded Crusaders take on 4-seed Reedsburg.
Oh, my goodness.
Intercepted again to the 20, the 10. Dustin Roach into the end zone for the third time tonight.
Crusaders football is presented by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, R&R Insurance, Home Sealed Exteriors, and DM Accounting and Consulting Service. Tune into the action Friday night starting at 6:30 on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, or at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka. Wilde and Tausch is presented by Tito's Handmade Vodka, America's original craft vodka produced in Austin, Texas, and naturally gluten-free. Tito's Handmade Vodka.
Lions crossover.
A lot of Vikings, Packers.
Like
not
there
as
is with
many,
the Vikings.
Detroit. Stokey. Barry Stokes would be one.
Indeed.
So this is what that game is that Tausch likes, Jason. The Dynasty. He calls it Dynasty Daddy. Most call it the Immaculate Grid. You come up with players in
it's called it's literally Dynasty Daddy.
Literally.
And I believe we were going to do that on the show the last couple of weeks, and I don't think we haven't been able to figure that piece out yet, which is okay.
Doesn't sound like it's okay. TJ Lang scheduled to appear on Tuesday, December 3rd, heading into that Thursday, December 5th matchup with the Lions. So mark your calendars for his return. Having him on and knowing he does the Lions radio network and you doing the Badgers radio network got me thinking about the fact, and we'll get back to previewing Packers-Lions momentarily. This is the first game that Tom Brady will have done involving the Packers.
Okay.
Do you care? Does it matter to you?
No.
Are you it? Well, not.
No,
well, I'm not just asking you per se. I'm asking the general you, everybody. Like, is this like I've been watching the World Series, which the Dodgers won last night as they won Game 5, coming back from a 5-0 deficit to win 7-6.
Ohtani.
Sorry, Rich Bisaccia.
Ohtani. Told you.
Who went
What a
2
gag
for
job last
19
night was.
in the World Series.
Total gag
Got him there
for the Yanks.
But they keep showing this commercial of Tom Brady walking into a stadium, and then the other Tom Bradys are, giving him a pep talk because, people didn't believe in him when he was at Michigan and when he was starting out with the Patriots, then when he went to Tampa Bay, and now people aren't believing in him now. Come on, man. Like, it's great. He's Tom Brady. You paid him $300 and some million for the next 10 years to do games and not be able to go into production meetings because now he's a part owner of the Raiders. But I'm curious if fans care that he's calling the game. Like, I don't consume the game the same way, but like the way they were promoting it, they do this commercial. I saw it during the earlier rounds on Fox 2, and then they put which game it is. Like, they don't show anything about the actual game. It's, here's Tom Brady and all these other versions of Tom Brady walking in a stadium, coming up to Burkhardt, big game Burkhardt.
Sure.
Jesse, do you care?
At the start of the season, I cared. I don't really like what it's become, where Brady calling the game is like the spectacle that they're trying to. And they've done more than just the promos of it too. Like on their pregame show, did you see this thing like 2 weeks ago? They had him join as like a hologram. For the pregame show, they like superimposed Brady was at the stadium. I think they were in San Francisco. They like superimposed him like he was in the studio
Tupac
next to Terry Bradshaw. But he was like it looked like it was very weird because he was disproportionately sized compared to like Howie Long.
Was he too big or too tiny?
He was too large. Yeah, so it looked weird. But got a weird reaction on social media. Like it just.
Don't you think the right
too
move
much.
if you're Fox? Get rid of Bradshaw, put Brady in there with Gronk on their regular show, and put Olsen back with Burkhardt. This isn't a hard thing to do. You're going to pay him anyways. Move him along and let him analyze. He's going to be more loose and fun. He's got his boy Gronk there. Brady obviously has a wealth of knowledge that we want to hear about.
No doubt.
And let him in a more controlled environment. I'm on board with that plan. I bet that happens at some point.
I wouldn't mind if Howie retires, Terry retires, Strahan sticks with Good Morning America, and you just get Kurt Menefee with Gronk and Brady breaking down every game on a Sunday.
No, you need a little bit more. But, yeah, I just think at some point, I mean, players have to retire. It's time for Terry. Deuces TB. Bring in the new TB.
Deuces TB. That's good. That was
just
good. Very clever. But if I want to know.
But no, Jason, Packer fans don't give two rips. Like, they're going to complain about the announcer more likely than not anyways. Everybody hated whoever did the game. I can't remember who did the game last week. They didn't think they knew anything. It was
Kenny Albert and Jonathan Vilma. Yeah, that crew stinks.
Twitter did not like that at all.
That crew stinks, quote.
Put me and Semrau or me and Padol in there, and we're good.
I want Schlereth. Yeah. I'm a big Mark Schlereth fan. I think Mark Schlereth looks at the game the right way. I'm always on board with Schlereth doing a game.
All right, so if I poll this, do you care that Tom Brady is calling the Packers?
It's going to be a big fat
game?
No, and people say I don't think he's very good. That's what's going to happen.
I think some people will lie. I think some people will vote no when they actually do care. But they're gonna play tough guy.
Why on earth would you lie about that?
It's Halloween. They're gonna dress up as tough guy and say, "I don't care who's called the game. I'm just watching the Packers." And people care.
Okay. I'm going to poll it because especially when it's anonymous. No one knows how you voted.
It's a weird lie. Well, why on earth would you lie about that?
As opposed to the must-lie situation we were discussing yesterday, that's a no-need-to-lie situation.
But Greg Olsen, and I understand the whole deal. Greg Olsen's a fantastic announcer.
He's
and
really
I love his
good.
Voice.
Yeah.
I think his voice is just
because you think he sounds like you.
It sounds just like me. Me and Greg.
Sure, very similar. I will say this. I think offensive linemen and tight ends do a really good job. I understand quarterbacks are always the guys, right? Brady, Romo, Aikman, etc. But I think offensive linemen, if you listen, they know the game. And I think that they are insightful and they're a little more relatable as well.
Couldn't agree more.
I am going to post this poll. Do you believe it'll be a canyon?
Okay.
98%.
No, it won't be canyon.
90?
Like 85.
90-10?
No, I think 85. 85.
Does it make a difference to you that Tom Brady's calling the game? Yes or no?
I would have not even known that he's calling the game. So that tells you where I'm at.
Well, then clearly you should check out the ESPN app that says where to watch things. I don't know if it tells you the announcing team, but you should get it.
Yeah, you ditch the random channel surfing with your remote. Grab your phone, open the ESPN app. Their new Where to Watch feature. It's a game changer. So many games going on, and the ESPN app is your answer for what channel is that? What app is that? What do you stream? Oh, you want to know where the Bucks are tipping off? What? Well, boom. ESPN app gives you that answer for everything that you're looking for. You already have it. It's the ESPN app's Where to Watch tab. Say goodbye to that frustration and hello to watching sports. Download the ESPN app from your app store and find the Where to Watch app on your TV icon.
I made things a little uncomfortable for Matt LaFleur yesterday.
That's fun.
And I didn't like it because I didn't ask the question to get a good answer. And as I tell you all the time, it's about getting the answers. It's not about the questions. And I botched the question because I put him in a position where he basically had to lie or at least deceive a little bit. I will explain, and you will hear that exchange when it comes to the Packers secondary next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch is presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella at 855-PELLA-WI or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Joe Fortenbaugh.
A safe, stable environment is the first most critical aspect for raising any child. Think of it the same way for bringing up any young quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, how many coaches has he had? One. Lamar Jackson, how many coaches has he had? Josh Allen, how many coaches has he had? Brock Purdy, how many coaches has he had? Joe Burrow, how many coaches has he had? Jordan Love, how many coaches has he had? A bunch of guys that find themselves in the MVP race on good teams, winning games this year, having won games in the past, competing for Super Bowls. They all came into a situation where they had the same head coach they had from day one. And then you look around at some of these other guys. Bryce Young, 2 coaches in 2 years. Tua Tagovailoa. It took multiple coaches to try to start to work through that sort of thing. All around the NFL, you find these kids that you screw up because you consistently change the environment around them.
ABC Wednesdays.
Y'all complain all day. We want books. We want paper towels in the classroom. Bet you want raises, too.
I'm still waiting on the paper towels.
Abbott Elementary returns with the new season.
We asked the district for more after-school programs. They gave us $50 for class pets instead.
Critics cheer. Abbott Elementary continues to be one of the funniest and most beloved shows on TV.
What y'all doing out there? Taking bribes? Proud of y'all.
Abbott Elementary, Wednesdays, 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Max Bankman, I'm the new doctor. Welcome aboard the Odyssey.
ABC Thursdays.
This ship is heaven. We're tending to our passengers' dreams. I'm in.
From 911 executive producer Ryan Murphy comes a splashy new drama on a luxury cruise ship with Joshua Jackson and Don Johnson.
It's your job to keep everyone alive.
She's in VFib. 1, 2, 3. Clear.
I have a pulse.
You're going to be okay.
Dr. Odyssey. Thursdays, 9/8 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
The biggest game of the season takes place this Sunday in Green Bay. Be there with help from the Ticket King. With offices in Milwaukee and Green Bay, Ticket King is your local and most trusted source to buy Green Bay tickets. Experience the huge matchup this Sunday against Detroit by visiting theticketking.com or call 414-273-6007. Don't wait. Get tickets for Sunday's monumental divisional tilt with Detroit at theticketking.com. Make sure you follow Ticket King on Facebook and Instagram.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we're the cold weather experts, offering unbeatable deals on the gear and supplies you need to get ready for winter. Like 30% off all zero exposure outerwear for the family. 8 packs of Energizer AA or AAA batteries, just $6.99. Blaine's brand Platinum Automotive batteries are $5 off. Plus, check out unbeatable toy deals in Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland, now open. Like a Max side-loading garbage truck toy, $10 off.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
All right, so Tausch, I mean it when I say it. Like I don't want to. I want to get answers, and I screwed this up. Listen to the question and the answer that I get because I screwed up the question about the Packers secondary and the situation that they find themselves in if they don't have Evan Williams and possibly don't have Jair Alexander either.
Where do you think you are in your secondary if you're missing a couple of those pieces? And I was curious, was that a change at the end with Eric Stokes, or was that performance-based, or did he get hurt at the end of the game?
Well, I think we want to rotate all those guys, and I do think that is a position, the corner and the safety position, where we have a decent amount of depth. What transpired in that game, I mean, Evan kind of felt something pregame. He tried to go out and play, and it set off a chain reaction in terms of how do you go about putting who you feel like is going to give you the best chance to win. Bold didn't practice any at safety all week. Then he's got to go play safety, and I think that's tough on a young player. You kick Keyshawn inside. Obviously, I think our corner depth's pretty good. So that led to CB and Stokes getting more opportunities. But as far as the rotation goes amongst those guys, we're going to rotate all those guys because we have confidence in them.
Yeah, as soon as I said performance-based, I knew I'd screwed it up, right? Because he's not going to say, yeah, we benched him in the middle of a series.
Not going to sell his guys out.
Right. Stupid. Totally bad. So,
bad question. Bad answer, bad question.
Yeah, and then he started doing the whole thing about the chain reaction again, which he'd said on Monday. I think he really liked the phrase chain reaction.
Yeah, you let him get into talking points, Matt, and that's not where you want to be.
So
I don't want TPM.
So once Evan Williams left the game, they rotated Carrington Valentine and Eric Stokes at the outside corner, and they moved, as he mentioned, Keyshawn Nixon inside, and they moved Javon Bullard, or Bull, as they call him, back to safety to replace Evan Williams. Well, so Eric Stokes played 21 snaps, Carrington Valentine played 12. But as we've discussed, usually at that position, you don't replace a guy in the middle of a drive. But Eric Stokes gave up 2 big completions during that drive, and they pulled him out. It clearly wasn't injury-based. He's not on the injury report. So I completely flubbed that. My question for you is, if they don't have Evan Williams, and maybe they do, maybe they don't have Jair Alexander, against a team that has scored 172 points in the last 4 games, how up you-know-what crick without a paddle are they in the secondary suddenly?
Well, it's going to be a tough spot, but this game is going to come down to, can they get Jared Goff off his spot and pressure him? And if that needs to be through simulated pressure, if that needs to be through blitzing 4 or 5 different guys and moving them around and having a 5-man rush, a 6-man rush, that's going to be the key to this game. I think Jeff Hafley is going to heat him up. And that puts a lot of pressure on your secondary. Mm-hmm. And maybe that also says, well, I can't do everything I want because I don't have Jair and I don't have Evan Williams. And both guys, I think they obviously think very highly of. So to answer your question, because it was a good question, it's a big deal. Because this offense is humming, and when you let them get in rhythm, nobody has slowed them down. It's getting him out of rhythm. He's thrown picks. We've seen him do this before. You rattle his cage a little bit. And TJ said this too, every quarterback. Hey, no blank, but especially for him because he's not interested in those extending plays. That's not where he lives. It makes him uncomfortable. That's why the Rams moved on from him. If it was just sit back in the pocket, zone, run the fake stretch plays and the play actions and the boots, he's good. Get him off target. And I think, by the way, it's one of the rare win-win trades because Stafford was able to do that. They got their championship. They got a first round. They ended up giving up a pick, and the Detroit Lions have completely reinvented themselves and found a way with Ben Johnson to have Jared Goff be a really good player. Is he one of the top guys? No, he's not. Is he really good and consistent? And is he really good when he is protected and is not put in a ton of gotta-have-it plays? Absolutely. That's what this game's going to come down to, in my opinion.
We will see if that is the case. All right, we want to get to a conversation about tickets to
Is Evan Williams going to play or not? What's your gut tell you on that one?
No.
I would agree. Hammies are hammies now, and
especially when Matt LaFleur. That was the one good thing that came out of my crappy question.
That it
happened pregame and he played anyway. Mm-hmm. That would be an indicator to me that the last thing you want him to do is to try to do that again, and then you're doing another chain reaction without him when he can't finish the game.
Yep.
So at least that came out of it. All right, we need to play trivia. Jesse, what do you got for a category? Who did the work for you, and what caller would you like?
I put in the work today, Jason. Happy Halloween is today's trivia category. Kind of expected, probably.
Very creative.
Questions about the holiday.
By the way, why has there not been Halloween music throughout the show?
What's Halloween music?
Spooky or Fluky.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
We have
Ghostbusters.
Oh. Okay, that's 2.
Well, that's just off the top of my head. I bet I could put together a playlist.
Well,
if
I said, name some holiday songs for the holiday season in December.
Well, yes, I would agree that it's tougher for Halloween than it is for Christmas.
Valentine's Day, bang, you got 20 of them.
Yeah, not a lot of people put out Halloween albums.
Mother's Day, you could even probably give me 5 or 6 right away. Halloween songs. What do we got? 2?
So just wait a second. You're blaming the music industry for not giving you enough options.
Yeah, we need more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesse accountability. That's good stuff.
Not a lot of Halloween songs.
Ja.
With some thought, maybe 4.
If only you had like a website where you could type in Halloween songs and it would respond with a list of Halloween songs that you could then search out.
No need. There's only 4 of them. No need for that website.
Category is Happy Halloween. Jesse says there are 4 Halloween songs in existence, so we will take caller 4. 8-4. We've already got Aaron Nagler sending us other songs. So let's be honest here. This may have been a miss by you. Just to be fair.
So we got Spooky Scary Skeletons, which is the bed we use for Spooky or Fluky when we play coming up. So I'm not even going to count that one. We got Ghostbusters. What's the Monster Mash? I'll give you Monster Mash. So
somebody's watching me, and I got no privacy. Oh. How about Thriller?
I thought Michael Jackson was banned from this show, so that one's
Michael
out.
Jackson's banned from.
There we
my
go.
end,
See,
yeah.
so
you
there
guys,
we go.
when I'm out, you guys want to play it? Great, go ahead. But no,
we'll play him as the entry music for Dan Orlovsky. All right, we need to play trivia.
By the way, check out Dan Orlovsky's breakdown on Matt LaFleur on Twitter. It's fantastic.
No,
yeah, it's really good. It's good.
Sure.
What are you mad about?
Because I did the same breakdown of my game story after the game. Same
about
thing.
Matt LaFleur on
not on video. No, it wasn't video. Of course not, because it's a print medium.
Get with the program. We're living in a video world. You know
Caller
that.
4 for trivia, 844-770-3776. We will play without any Halloween music.
You know what I'd love to see? You dressed up as Lombardi on a whiteboard and just go through that same sequence. Let's do a digi only where you're as Lombardi and you're drawing it up and you're saying up and here's LaFleur and he's moving Jaden Reed and he's moving Watson and he's got this a 2x2 and that's how you get them open up. How fun would that be? I'd tune into that.
At 10:54, you want me to dress as Vince Lombardi so we can do a digi only.
Trust me,
head's a little crooked on that bobblehead there.
Yeah, he's thinking.
In that little treasure chest that you call a basement, you don't think you got an old hat with an old raincoat that you couldn't put together? I think you do.
Caller 4 for trivia will play next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you. Every big pitch.
It's gone! Francisco Lindor!
Every big hit.
It is gone! Ohtani!
Every big play.
It's gone! It's a grand slam! Thomas!
ESPN Milwaukee is your home for the hottest action on the diamond this baseball postseason.
It is out of here! There's the home run for Judge!
Tune in all postseason long on the way to the Fall Classic, right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming on the Wisconsin On Demand app. It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Marquette fans, join David Joplin and Chase Ross at the Sussex Piggly Wiggly on Friday, November 1st at 7 p.m. Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig.
Well, the regular season is fast approaching for Marquette men's basketball, and the Golden Eagles are looking to improve upon their third-round appearance in the NCAA tournament last season. However, they'll have to do it without Tyler Kolek and Oso Ighodaro. Here's head coach Shaka Smart.
With Tyler and Oso moving on, it certainly is going to be an evolution for us, players and coaches, to figure out exactly with this group what the right way is to maximize who we have and to really reach our upper limit.
The season tips off on Monday, November 4th. It's Marquette against Stony Brook. Catch the action right here on your home of Marquette basketball all season long, 94.5 ESPN.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Join Chase and Chop at Sussex Piggly Wiggly Friday, November 1st at 7 p.m. Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
So what's better than a Packers win? Celebrating a Packers win behind the wheel of a newly redesigned 2024 Chevy Traverse C71. Yeah, that's better. And right now at Quick Trip, for every $1 you spend with Quick Rewards, you'll earn a Fan Zone point to spend in the Packers Zone. Then, with your Quick Rewards app, spend points for your chance to win prizes throughout the season, like a Chevy Traverse C71. Kick off your winning season with Quick Trip and your Green Bay Packers. See quicktrip.com/fanzone for details.
America's happiest jewelry store is coming to Kenosha.
And our grand opening celebration will be November 1st and 2nd, just off Highway 50 at exit 344.
Kessler's Diamonds is America's largest employee-owned jewelry company.
And because we own the company, we can do anything we want. Here's what we've decided to do. We're going to give away 2 big diamonds.
A 3/4 carat natural diamond.
And a 2-carat newborn created diamond. Who gives away diamonds? We do.
Have snacks and refreshments.
And spin our wheel of sparkle for spectacular prizes. Do we know how to celebrate or what? The first 81 people to arrive each day will be given a special gift. 81 is our special number.
The Kessler 81 is a magical diamond that explodes with light.
You've got to see it to believe it. And everyone will get 0% interest for 18 months with approved credit.
Come to Kessler's.
Friday, November 1st and Saturday the 2nd. Just off Highway 50 at exit 344.
KesslersDiamonds.com.
Save big money on your next project. Right now at Menards. Give your home an elegant look with Mastercraft pre-finished hardwood molding. Available in 5 pre-finished colors to save you time. Just cut and install for a simple upgrade to any room. Save big on all Mastercraft molding products. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Time for trivia. Boy, this sounds kind of like a song you'd play at Halloween.
Does it?
Spooky little girl like you. I mean, it wasn't on my list.
Because the list isn't very long.
Does Thanksgiving have a lot of music associated with it? I know we don't have movies because Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, the greatest Thanksgiving movie of all time. I don't even know if there is another one. Halloween has tons of movies, and you would think within that there's soundtracks, probably tons of music. But Thanksgiving, probably a lot tougher to find music for. So, Jesse, if you said, I don't have any Thanksgiving music, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. You're probably right.
The 50 best Halloween songs to add to your 2024 playlist.
Yeah, don't get me started on this. Josh DiMaggio sends here's Billboard's top 25, top 40 Halloween songs of all time.
Why don't you want Josh to get started on
that? The Devil Went Down to Georgia is not a Halloween song just because devil is in the title of the song. No, it's not. It has nothing to do with Halloween.
But it could be. But it could be.
This is Halloween. This is Halloween. It's got Halloween right there in the title. Let's welcome in our contestant. It is Mike in Waukesha. Mike, good morning. How are you?
Good, and yourself?
Well, Jesse's taking a lot of responsibility again. You know how that goes. All right, the category is Happy Halloween. We may or may not have more music. Before we get to you, some breaking news from the National Football League. Another award, a major award.
I was thinking trade.
I feel like I would have made a much bigger deal out of that than that. Xavier McKinney is your NFC Defensive Player of the Month for October.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Saw that one coming.
Long month. Really long
Felt long, yeah. Here's the bad news. And I'm not saying that we should be concerned about him going the route of this guy. The last Packers player to win Defensive Player of the Month, Devondre Campbell in 2021. So,
yeah.
I don't expect
by the way,
him.
Devondre Campbell was a really good pickup, again, by the Gootinator. Probably shouldn't have re-signed him. But
So he gets credit for picking him
59.
up.
He did.
Take care of your mentals. Really good pickup, really bad re-signing. Fair?
I wouldn't say really bad. I mean, he still was a good player. It just wasn't. You think it's really bad?
I think it was pretty bad. Yep, I do. All right, let's play trivia. Mike, here we go. Question number 1, unless Tausch isn't asking any questions today.
No, I got it.
Okay.
Mike, which fictional character is the main antagonist featured throughout the 13 movies, 13 soundtracks in the Halloween horror franchise? Is it Michael Myers, John Kramer, Charlie Brown?
Michael Myers.
Yes, sir.
Who is John Kramer?
That's the Saw dude.
I assumed that he was some sort of a scary movie character.
I thought, wasn't that movie about a divorced couple?
Kramer versus Kramer?
Yeah.
Cosmo Kramer. All right, Mike, question 2.
Jerry Kramer.
Oh, boy.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Kelsey Grammer.
What?
Okay.
Kelsey Ballerini.
Tausch loses.
Okay.
Question 2.
11:03. I'm just trying to move along, Jesse. It's trying to help you.
You're trying to move along by losing the game on purpose? That's what, okay. You're always playing 4D chess, yeah. All right, Mike, question 2. Sorry, this has been unfair to you, buddy. According to news website Axios, which candy was recognized as the most popular Halloween candy in 40 of the 50 U.S. states in 2023? I know it wasn't Almond Joy, because apparently nobody likes Almond Joy except me. Was it M&M's, Snickers, or Reese's Peanut Butter Cups?
I feel like it's going to be M&M's.
I would think so, too. But you're wrong.
Peanut butter cups are everywhere. Reese's runs the world when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, Tausch is right.
And I don't even think their best one is that Take 5. It's loaded with everything. You got peanut butter cup, you got Reese's, you got the Reese's Pieces.
This sounds oddly like free advertising to me.
With what? Well, Quick Trip sells all of it. All right, last one. Which of these comedic actors has not appeared in either the 2003 original movie or the 2023 remake of Disney's The Haunted Mansion? Is it Eddie Murphy, Dan DeVito, Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller.
Tausch's favorite actor. Big fan. Member of the fan
What do
club.
you think Ben Stiller would be doing if Jerry Stiller wasn't his dad? Like, legit. I
think he'd still be an actor.
Here, but no, he would not.
And you're hanging out with Noah Eagle again on Saturday night at the Iowa game.
Don't pee
right?
on the seat again. All right, that's it for trivia. Hey, Mike, you got 2 out of 3. That means you got 3 of the possible 4 entries into tomorrow's drawing. Sorry if we were a little bit distracted during your contestancy, but we appreciate your loyalty to the show, buddy. Thanks.
It's all good. Thank you.
All right, that is trivia. Tausch really wants to talk about tickets at Lambeau Field when the Detroit Lions come to town.
A lot of Honolulu Blue last time. A lot of Honolulu Blue.
Jesse really wants to play Spooky or Fluky and a myriad of Halloween songs to make up for lost time in today's show. One will get their way. We'll see who it is.
I have a guess.
Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesch Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Calling all green and gold fans. Ditch the stress and ride in style to Green Bay with the Milwaukee Broadhouse. With round-trip rides starting at $85 per person to every home game, you can enjoy all you can drink on the bus. No need to worry about traffic or parking. Milwaukee Broadhouse even has a private restroom on board. Upgrade your experience with an all-you-can-eat and drink tailgate package for $30 more. Don't miss out. Secure your seat now at MilwaukeeBroadhouse.com. Let's make every game day legendary.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? Get a little slice of summer on the links with Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. With bays at just $35 an hour, Mondays through Thursdays. That summer feel is easily back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now. All right, Tausch, what's your bugaboo about this ticket deal?
Well, I just heard a lot of fans throughout last weekend and really in anticipation of this game. And you were up there. I did not make it up to that Amazon game, and I think it was one of the low points. Obviously, that Viking game where we couldn't get a first down, and I think that dropped this football team to 2-5 last year. But the Detroit game on Amazon on Thursday night was
a bludgeoning.
I was there.
Jesse was there. They were physical, and on top of that, they beat us up, and kind of was them saying, "Hey, we're here, and we're ready to go win this division." And to their credit, they did. But I thought the part that was really fascinating, and I know our fans. And we've had a lot of discussions about this, but the amount of Honolulu blue for a team that hasn't won much in forever, there was a substantial amount of Honolulu blue at Lambeau last Thursday. And I'm certain players don't want to see that. We don't want to, and I'm not even trying to equate this, but when the Packers win on the road and we have the Go Pack Goes, we love it. I don't know what Detroit's chants are, but I'm sure that's what it looked like and felt like at Lambeau last year. And from a Packer fan standpoint, I think we all would love it if it was always green and gold or white out or whatever it is for us every week. Mm-hmm. But we saw the Colts fans come in pretty good droves, and I'm guessing we'll see a lot of Honolulu blue again on Sunday, and I'm guessing we're going to have a lot of people saying, we can't do that. Fans, you can't do that. Even though you're probably getting $500 or $600 a ticket, and it makes it tough to tell people, don't do it. We need you there. So I just wanted to put this out there because I think it's a very interesting topic.
So now the Lions, according to the Packers, returned some of their tickets. But Tausch, help us understand that. The allotment that the Lions get, that means that, like, for example, if TJ Lang was still playing for them, that Laura and the kids aren't coming, so he didn't need to buy road tickets for his team to be, for his family to go to the game. So that's not an indicator necessarily that there won't be a Honolulu Blue out in the stands because of so many Lions fans coming, right?
Yeah, it just means you get a certain amount. And then if we're going out to LA, you can get, I think you could buy, and then you could talk your teammates that don't have family. If you have a teammate that is from Los Angeles, you say, hey, boom, boom, I'll give you these. And then especially early in the season, if you really have a game you need to get tickets for, like if we went up to Minnesota, I'd always want to get extra tickets. I'd say, oh, yeah, it's perfect. Any of the games you need, I could take Minnesota. That's how it works. And I think typically you do return tickets, and the Packers just put that out there. But I would bet that you're going to get, I think, what's a win? Less than 25% Honolulu Blue?
Yeah. So
what are we expecting?
So, Jesse, I would ask you in a moment here what you saw in the stands since you were at that game. But it was, from press box level, really noticeable. No doubt about it. Now, I also know that this leads to some of the slander against Milwaukee ticket holders, the gold package. And I believe this argument last year when it occurred on the Monday after the game, I was like, hey, then move the Milwaukee game, because it was Thursday night football for a Milwaukee crowd, which is traveling farther than the predominantly Green Bay-based crowd of the Green package. So instead of saying, oh, it's always the second and the fifth game, or this year, in that case, it's the second, the fifth, and the ninth home game, because they get the third one, which means they get 3 division games, then make an adjustment so you don't have people selling their tickets because their kids got to go to school in Milwaukee on Friday, and they don't want to drive up and be battling potential drunk drivers on I-43 to get home. Pretty simple fix on that one. Now, I don't know what's going to happen this time, but I would predict that fewer Milwaukee ticket holders will sell their tickets because it's easier to go to a Sunday afternoon game than it is to go to a Thursday night game when you hold those tickets. Am I wrong to think that?
If someone offers you, and what face value on tickets are what? $180, $200 now?
Yeah, somewhere around
right?
there. Sure. Yep.
And if someone's going to give you $600, you get 3X. Are you going to do it? It's Halloween weekend. There's a lot of hockey stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. Iowa.
Sounds like just your schedule.
Yeah, if you get 3X back from a Honolulu Blue fan, are you taking it? Jesse?
Oh, of course I am.
I know you are, but you don't really care. You get free tickets and free food and free parking and everything else.
So
get free tickets.
I think when you look at a Thursday night last year, Thursday night games are already a little goofy with many people having to work the next day and the travel and the gold package, all that stuff. Last year, we didn't know the fourth game of the season was going to be a potentially huge game for the Packers because we didn't know what the Packers were going to be in September of last year. And we didn't really know until November that they had any kind of chance at anything last year. This year, going into it, this is the biggest home game of the year, one of the biggest games in the NFC for the entire season. I would imagine, and 325, like Jason said on Sunday, much more conducive for the fans no matter where you're coming from, Detroit, Milwaukee, or otherwise. I would imagine that the Packers fans are going to be out in full force on Sunday, and you will not see nearly as much Honolulu Blue as we did on Thursday night last year. The one caveat to this right now that I would say, and some people are pointing this out in the YouTube chat, which I am looking at.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah. It's going to rain. And if there are fans who can make 4 to 5x what they paid for their tickets and not have to go sit in a trash bag in the rain on Sunday afternoon, I think that becomes a very tempting...
Sit in a trash bag.
Yeah, I think that becomes a very tempting scenario for some fans to pay for their entire season's worth of tickets if there's someone from Detroit who's willing to pay that much for it, to go sit in the rain.
It's very close to calling people garbage, by the way. So, do you have a concern about the attendance and about the home field advantage? Because,
I don't
by
mind
the way,
if there's 15% Lions fans, okay, I'm all right with that. It's when you start getting more than a quarter. If you're over 25% Honolulu blue, that's when I start thinking maybe we have to reevaluate how we're doing this, because I know that Packer fans want to win this game in a big way.
Sure.
And you can have all of these other excuses for last year, because last year, I mean, I'm guessing it was closer to 30 or 40%, maybe even more. We've seen that with the Minnesota Vikings, and it was one of the years A-Rod busted his collarbone up. It was over 50% purple on a cold Sunday night game.
Well, he was out.
So
right,
he was out. The season was kind of Rap City, USA. But I guess that's where I'm at. Mm-hmm. This is a monster game. I am never going to crush fans we're asking a lot of if they're selling their tickets. I get it, but I can't sit here in good faith and say if Linda and Bobby are sitting there in West Allis and they got 4 tickets and somebody's giving them a 3 to 4x on their initial investment and they can cover the rest of their season, I'm going to sit there and cuss them out for being bad fans. Not happening. Not from old T. I can't do it.
Also, for the record, the Packers did not lose at home to the Lions because there were so many Lions fans at the game last year.
Yeah, we got beat up. Got beat up.
But
it didn't help. I agree it didn't help, but they played like they were in a garbage bag.
One more thing I would say on this, too.
Is it about garbage bags?
It's not about garbage bags.
Okay.
If you're a fan, which, Jason, I know you're not, so you may not understand this.
Well, trust me, we all know he's not. Oh, God,
you may not understand this.
This is the game you buy tickets to get to go to. This is the game of the year. This is the huge opportunity to go. Sunday night last year,
game.
when the Chiefs came to town last year, people signed up to go see that game. When the Vikings and the Packers play at the end of the season for a division
Taylor
title.
Swift was
when,
there, though.
when the Bears have played when the Bears have played the Packers for a division title in years back. This is the game that you circle on the home schedule for the year and say this is going to decide playoff positioning. This is going to be the most competitive game we expect to see between these two really good Super Bowl contending teams. This is the game you buy tickets to go to. If you're buying tickets and then you're selling the best game, what's the point of having the tickets? So you can go see the Cardinals in September? That's not nearly the same as...
Good win.
Fine. Yeah, it was a fine
win.
But you're not buying tickets for the season so that you can go see the Cardinals at noon in early October, I think it technically was. You're buying tickets so that you can see a prime time game between the two best teams in the NFC. That's all.
Okay. So you bring up good points, but I just think we get a little bit high on our horse when it comes to what people should do and how they should handle this. And if Detroit is starving for championship. Mm-hmm. They put their money where their hungry mouths were last year. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're in that same boat. I'm sure they feel that way. I don't know if they're willing to pay 4x on that initial ticket. I don't know. But I certainly can tell you if Linda in West Allis is going to do it,
Big Linda?
I'm not going to crush Linda. I'm not.
She might crush you. I'm taking some shrapnel in the YouTube comments. Dave, dude sells hangers. Of course he would sell his tickets. Look, listen to what Tausch is saying. He is not judging the people that are selling their tickets if they have a chance to make 3 or 4x on them. Now, Chris, no, wait, sorry, I'm trying to keep track of all these comments. Holmes says, it's a gold package game. I was offered 2 tickets from a buddy for $200 a piece, which just sounds to me like a little bit above face, but not much, right?
That's reasonable, yeah.
The weather is supposed to be crappy, so I couldn't find anyone here in Green Bay that wanted to go to the game with me. So then what's his buddy supposed to do? If his buddy tries to sell it to a fellow Packers fan who can't find a person to go with him, maybe like to take Ryan Wollersheim, who's still waiting for someone to go to the volleyball game with him. Maybe if you can't find somebody locally, then you sell your tickets and make some extra money off of a Lions fan who wants to be there for the game. Again, I don't know. I'm not judging anyone. Yes, I would sell them. If I had a chance to sell $200 tickets for $800, I'm doing it. And I'm glad that there are people that don't need the $1,200 profit that they would make off those tickets. I would have a hard time saying no to that. Yes, so if that makes me a bad person, so be it.
My only rule of thumb, and again, I'm not going to, this isn't written in concrete or chalk. Playoff games, you got to go. I don't care what's going, you got to. You're not selling playoff tickets for whatever that profit margin is.
Isn't this the closest thing to a playoff game in the regular season?
If you would let me finish, that's literally what I was going to say. Jesse, just perfect. There you go.
Meanwhile, hey, Colby Overhagen. What's this supposed to mean? You would like Almond Joy, Wilde. What is that?
That's the comment of the day. Right
you are
there.
an Almond Joy guy.
Typical Wilde, like an Almond Joy. All right. This was fun.
What does that mean? In fairness, what does that mean?
It makes sense, even though I don't really know what it means.
Like that you're a little nutty? Is that what it means?
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Yeah, I think it means I have bad taste, I think is what he's trying to say, because lots of people don't like them. I like coconut. Sorry. What I also like, not as much as Tausch does, is the great partnership, even though I don't usually drink it, with Coors Light and the Blue Mountains.
Coors Light brewed with that 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered. And it's cold packaged, so it's made to chill. And make sure those mountains, shoot, with this wind, just put it out there. The wind is going to get those mountains perfectly blue. That's when you know it is chilled to perfection. It's super windy. 40 or 50 mile-an-hour winds, so
Does
make
that
sure
make it colder?
Everybody's buckled up tonight.
Does it make your beer colder, though, if it's windy? Doesn't
Cold
the temperature
wind?
matter?
Yeah, why would it not?
Well, what's the temperature in Sun Prairie right now?
I don't know, mid-50s probably, but
well,
you get mid-50s with 50-mile-an-hour winds.
No.
50, yeah, but 50-mile-an-hour winds. You don't think wind makes things cold?
I don't think your Coors Light mountains are turning. Go put 2 Coors Lights outside during the commercial break. Digi only.
They're going to blow away.
Looking for Digi onlys. We go see if the mountains are blue before the end of the show.
Well, that's something I might do. I probably won't. That's why, but I will have a Coors Light tonight celebrating Halloween. Celebrate responsibly, Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Spooky or fluky? By the way, Jesse, you already violated the no Michael Jackson policy. So way to go.
What?
Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell features guest vocals by Michael Jackson. So you might as well just play Thriller now. Way to go.
Huh.
Spooky, scary skeletons. Spooky or fluky is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella, how'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for 60 months.
Visit PellaWI.com.
Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Jordan Love did not take part in practice on Wednesday after suffering a groin injury against the Jaguars in Week 8. Speaking at his locker, the Packers quarterback told the media what his plan is for the week ahead of Sunday's big matchup against the Lions.
I'm going to take it one day at a time, do my best I can to be in here doing rehab, get with the trainers, and try and get back as fast as possible. Definitely want to play.
Head coach Matt LaFleur was asked if Love doesn't practice during the week, could he still play this weekend?
Potentially.
It's the Packers and Lions Sunday at Lambeau Field. Kickoff is at 3:25.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
Need to find that perfect home? Don't sell. Upgrade with a home equity loan. Renovate that kitchen. Retile that bath. You choose the fixtures. Let us do the math. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Spending more time at home? Don't forget that 94.5 ESPN's on your smart speaker. Just ask Alexa to open 94.5 ESPN. 94.5 ESPN on Alexa is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call?
Did Ray Parker Jr. have any other hits besides Ghostbusters?
Who you gonna call?
These are the questions I ask myself.
No idea.
Time now for Spooky or Fluky.
Is it spooky or fluky?
Our Halloween tradition on Wilde and Tausch. At the unofficial midpoint of the NFL season, we ask whether the following teams are spooky and legitimate Super Bowl contenders, or fluky and real pretenders at this point in the season. Let's begin, Tausch, with the Minnesota Vikings.
Is it spooky or fluky?
I don't want to dismiss them like I did in the beginning of the season, but I'm going to dismiss them. They're fluky. I don't love the way Darisaw being injured, and I know they picked up Cam Robinson, and I like their coach. I think they have a lot of stuff going for them, but their schedule is going to catch them. They're going to have to play. They have to play us, and I know they beat us up here. They got to play Detroit again, and I think they're going to be scrapping and clawing to get that 6-7 spot. And they might do it. I'm not going to say they can't, but I just feel like that's where they're going to be, and I'm not worried about them per se as a contender to how I'm interpreting this game, to the G and G. So I'm going that they're fluky.
I think they're spooky, and the Packers have to face them in Minnesota, the second to last game of the season. And unless they make some sort of bizarre quarterback change like they did the last time they faced them on the very same weekend and gave themselves no chance whatsoever to win that game, which I like Kevin O'Connell a lot. I still don't know, and he got torched by the local media for that quarterbacking decision for that game. I think they're still going to be in the thick of it, and they can still spoil the Packers' playoff hopes, or at least their seeding hopes in that game. I think they get the last playoff seed. I do. I believe in their defense. I believe in Brian Flores, and I think they're going to keep finding ways to make Sam Darnold effective enough. So I'm going to call them spooky, but not like really like terror on the fox.
So almost like spooky. They're kind of fluky spooky.
Kind of a hybrid, almost a hedge, some might say.
It's almost like exactly. Like you don't really want to take an opinion, so you'll just do both, which that's kind of exactly what I thought. All right, Jesse, what's next?
Kind of felt like that was an opinion, but okay.
Next up in spooky.
It was an opinion that you're not scared of them, but they're good enough, but there maybe will be a spoiler, but they're not really going to be the contender. They'll probably sneak in. So I said fluky, and we literally said the exact same thing. So that's all right, though.
I need you guys to give your spooky or fluky voices on.
What's all Wilde growling about? Are you getting ready for an almond joy or what?
What a jerk today.
Next up in spooky or fluky, the San Francisco 49ers.
Spooky or fluky?
Let me take this one first, since I can say mine
unequivocally. Go for it, old boy. Yeah, go for it.
They are absolutely, positively spooky. They seem to have the Packers' number in games that matter. They also are getting healthier and healthier. They are going to be the team at the end of the year, despite all their stumbles and their struggles and losing Brandon Ayuk to an injury and playing without Christian McCaffrey. I would be concerned that they are the team that even if they don't win their division, you don't want any part of late in the year. They are spooky to me. Opinionated.
So I agree. It's a really strong opinion, and I appreciate that. They're spooky, but I'm caveating it. I'm gonna do a caveat.
Almost as if you're hedging.
No, it's not a hedge. It's literally going to be boom, boom. Spooky and very, very spooky if McCaffrey actually can play. I know they're hoping that he's going to play. I don't have a ton of confidence that he has not played a snap this season. They got the bye, then they played Tampa. If he is going to be able to finish this season, they're going to win their division, and they're going to be uber-duper-boober spooky. If he is not readily available to them, they're not spooky to me at all. So that's my caveat. I respect them. I think they have a good core group. They've got a lot of injuries. And if they don't have McCaffrey, they are just another ball squad stumbling and bumbling to a 500 record. That's where I'm at.
Next up in spooky or fluky, a team we've never asked about before playing this game, the Washington Commanders.
Spooky or fluky?
Very spooky. I think their coach is a good coach. He's done really good things defensively. You remember the Commanders/football team had all those first-round picks on the defensive side of the football, right? They've been trying to figure all that out. I know the Bears' offense is skittish at best, but they had them dead to rights last week. They didn't do anything. Washington moved the football relatively at a good clip, and I think they're going to make a move. I think they're going to grab one of these receivers that people are trying to get rid of, and you put McLaurin with a really good young quarterback. Jaden Daniels the real deal now. Jaden Daniels the real deal now. So I love the matchup. If Green Bay matches up with them in the first round of the playoffs, I am more than happy. But I think this is a team you have to put on the big-time spooky front because they have a quarterback that is dynamic and is playing at a really high level.
I think they're spooky, too. They're legit spooky. They did get a little help from the Bears to win a game that they didn't dominate, obviously, by any stretch of the imagination. But I'm fascinated by Jaden Daniels. He is bucking the Tausch, don't play him till Thanksgiving. What's the rhyme for that? Wasn't there some sort of rhyme?
No Frosh play until Thanksgiving Day.
Thank God you're here, Jesse.
Yeah. That's good, Jesse.
In Piscataway.
On a Saturday.
He is definitely playing well right away, which is not always, as we know, the case with young quarterbacks. But yeah, they're legit spooky. Next.
How about Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons?
Is it spooky or fluky?
Tausch?
Spooky. Lot of talent. Lot of talent on that side of the football. What's their tight end's name? The young fella. He's been around a couple years.
Pitts.
First round pick.
Kyle Pitts.
Pitts. Yeah, really good player. They have Bijan, who killed us last year. And Kirk Cousins looks like he's recovered pretty well from his Achilles. He is the same. Him and Goff, I think, are very similar. I don't know about it. I can't give you a fair enough assessment because I don't know their offensive line as well as I do Minnesota and Detroit. But I always have liked Kirk Cousins. I think he's been really underrated, and people give him a hard time because he's kind of a nerd. And he's, always everybody feels like he's overpaid. He's not overpaid. He's been a really good NFL quarterback, and if he can be kept upright with a good running game, Atlanta's a spooky squad.
As of now, in the NFC standings, the Atlanta Falcons would obviously be winning the NFC South if the season ended today at 5-3. What has he done in the postseason? Your guy Kirko.
Big win against New Orleans, but he struggled outside of that. Or against Minnesota, I think he played. Minnesota beat New Orleans down there, and I don't know if he's got another win on his docket. So
yeah, I mean, I think just like the Packers and the NFC North might be benefiting a little bit from playing the AFC South. They are in the NFC South, which includes the Saints, who are headed south in a big way, and the Carolina Panthers, who are a colossal catastrophe.
That's the division you want to be in. And I think, unfortunately, I like Tampa, but those receivers being out is just going to kill them. I don't think they're going to be able to overcome it, even though they got some gimme games left. And that's why I don't think Minnesota's going to get in, Jason, to be honest with you, because I think one of those two I think Atlanta wins that division, and I think Tampa, just by proxy of being able to play those two garbanzo teams, that should be enough to get them to that 9-10 win threshold. And I'm not sure, even with Minnesota having 5 already in the bank, I don't know if they can get there. That's why.
I'm going to say Fluky, by the way, to answer the actual question. Okay. I'm just not I'm not a Kirk Cousins hater by any means. I agree with you in your assessment that he is underrated and underappreciated, but I'm not buying them as a team that is to be feared.
Sure, that's fair. I can understand that.
Last one for Spooky or Fluky, the Philadelphia Eagles. Ooh, spooky or fluky?
Is it spooky or fluky?
I have them as fluky. I just know I saw what I saw last year, and they still have the same head coach. I know they switched coordinators, and I get all that. Saquon's been a good addition, but there's just something I just don't believe in him.
They already
think that
beat
there
the
is
Packers.
a lot of underlying. What?
They already beat the Packers in Brazil on the spooky field. Remember?
I do remember. What does that have to do
with the price of pickles
Halloween?
and Park Slope?
Yeah, I just don't buy them. I think they have talent, no doubt. I think there's a lot of issues and stuff that it's going on. So that's why I'm going to say nope. Fluky.
I'm going to say spooky. I think those issues can be solved by winning. And if they get themselves on a run, they're a talented squad that would make me nervous if I was a Packers fan contemplating a playoff matchup with them. All right, that's spooky or fluky. Tausch, there ain't nothing fluky about having your concrete or asphalt redone by Johnson & Sons. That rhymes.
No, there's not. Get ready for spring and do it now. Call Johnson & Sons Paving to make sure no pavement hazards get worse over the winter. You got potholes and cracked curbs and drainage issues. If things are bad now, call Johnson & Sons Paving to get it fixed. Schedule a free no-obligation quote. Get a walkthrough of your pavement. They'll be able to see signs of asphalt pavement work that is needed by spotting fatigue cracking, standing water, warping, buckling, sinking pavement, or more. Don't scare away customers or tenants with bad curb appeal. Book now, save money later. JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
A very brief Whoa Nelly is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. If you're looking for a truly unique luxury SUV, look no further than the new Range Rover Sport at Land Rover Waukesha.
The new Range Rover Sport SUV provides power, performance, sporting luxury, and all the latest technology and connectivity you want, plus the most luxurious ride.
And now is a great time to get an offer like this.
Get 3.9% special APR financing for up to 48 months on a new 2024 Range Rover Sport at Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
Those who don't have 20/20 vision usually do something about it. But many who can't breathe freely through their nose just live with it, not realizing they can have 20/20 breathing. At Advent, we're out to change that. With 20/20 breathing, you'll have fewer sinus infections, more energy, you'll sleep better, and you will live better. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula. In 2006, Advent pioneered the balloon sinuplasty procedure. And since, thousands of our patients can tell you, this simple 20-minute in-office solution really works. Balloon sinuplasty can give you 20/20 breathing so you can breathe freely through both nostrils with your mouth closed day and night. And that can change your life.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See AssociatedBank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a generator from Adams, Wisconsin's #1 rated Generac dealer. Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff. We like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated and uncompromising. Like an award-winning men's grooming experience from Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Open 7 days a week, even Sundays. Walk in anytime, and before you know it, our talented stylist will bring you back to a simpler time. A time when you were handsome and clean. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Avenue, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sports book, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Jen Latta here from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I have told you about the delicious pizza you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate. Now there's even more to be excited about with new sandwiches on the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy options like the turkey pesto, the meatball hero, the Italian hoagie, and more. Skip the same old lunch at your desk and grab a delicious sandwich from Proof instead. Order inside the restaurant or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
The soundtrack of Halloween. On Wilde and Tausch.
This is literally number 13 on the list Josh sent of Halloween songs. Imagine Dragons Demons is not a Halloween song just because Demon is the name of the song.
I agree with Jesse. It's not. And I love Imagine Dragons. Probably top 5 band for me right now to go watch. ID.
How about Coldplay at Camp Randall?
So, I believe, that's not one of my top 5, but
I want to go to that.
Probably going to go check it out.
I would like to go to that. All right, quickly before we get to Whoa Nelly, even briefer than it normally is. Late in the show, Wilde and Tausch Twitter poll. Does it matter to you that Tom Brady is calling Sunday's Packers-Lions game on NFL on Fox? No. 91.4% of you. No, doesn't matter to me. So what the hell are you paying him $300 million for?
Tom Brady.
Let's play Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
It's not my
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocca's house. His mama
Just saying. I'm going to keep talking over the open here. What's the point of paying him that if you're going to watch your team's game regardless of who's calling it?
If you move the needle with good analysis and you can get YouTube shorts and all this other stuff and draws interest, great. That's why. Because he's Tom Blanken Brady. That's why. That's the
Tom Blanken Brady. Jesse Blanken Nelson, what do you got for Whoa Nelly?
Xavier McKinney named Packers, or I should say NFC Defensive Player of the Month. Lions quarterback Jared Goff named NFC Offensive Player of the Month.
Something's got to give.
Tussle.
Who has a better day? Who has a better day Sunday at Lambeau Field? It's like a mini green and gold game preview here late on a Thursday. Tausch?
Xavier McKinney has just been so blank and good. I don't think anyone that signed him, anyone that thought he was going to be this impactful, other than Jason and Charles Woodson, and Eric Bilstead. You got those three. He's been so good. He impacts the game even when he doesn't impact the game. That's hard to do. So I'm going McKinney.
Me too. I'm pro McKinney. I'm not jumping off the bandwagon now.
Whoa, Nelly! Last question, Halloween themed. I am a big fan of the merit system. Kids who have better costumes or are more polite when they come up to trick or treat get more or better candy than the ones who just come up and don't say anything and just hand the bag out in front of you and they're kind of rude. Fair or foul, IPT or no? Merit system, Halloween.
I love good merit systems. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Wait, how long have you had this policy? Rick
forever.
And the crew, how long have you had the house?
You can have, 2 years. So this will be this is our third Halloween that we'll be experiencing at our house, thanks to Stacy Bruner and Irick and all the great people.
Love Stacy Bruner. Get housed and make sure you're polite to Jesse when you say trick or treat.
But going back to like when I graduated from trick or treating as a kid, but I would still hand out some of the candy at my parents' house. Kids with better costumes, or if they're nicer, they interact with you. They're more fun. They get more candy. They get better candy. Like we got different things to give out. You got to give out what's good and what's not good.
No, I'm on board with your system. I'm just surprised that you have a system.
Oh yeah, long awaited. This is the best thing about trick or treating for me now is the merit system. And
is your favorite thing giving out extra candy to the kids you like, or do you prefer snubbing the kids who are rude and non-communicative?
No, I never want to snub anybody. I want everyone to get 3 good pieces of candy or 5.
I don't believe you.
Whatever it is. No, I don't want to snub anybody.
Jesse, do you ever want to do like one of our cats in the neighborhood? He gets a big kick out of scaring little kids. So he sits on his little chair and dresses up as like a mannequin, or he hides in a pile of leaves, and he scares the bejesus out of these young kids. And that, I swear, it's like his favorite day of the year, outside of March Madness. Is that ever something that you're interested in doing?
No, I am not interested in
March Madness. Scaring the crap out of children. Big upsets in the first round for making kids soil
everybody
their pants.
Let me tell you something. For everybody in our neighborhood, you know who it is. I'm telling you, those are his 2 favorite days of the year, and I think tonight is his favorite night.
Both Thursdays
and now
this
with that
year.
wind,
it's big.
It's going to be a whole deal.
That's it for Whoa Nelly. We'll wrap up the show next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by On air, online, and on demand. Get all your favorite ESPN Wisconsin content anywhere you get your podcast for free. The new Wisconsin On Demand. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hey, it's Gary Ellison here for Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape? Or maybe you want to impress a client? Get a little slice of summer on the links with Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center, a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play legendary courses. Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer all year round. With bays at just $35 an hour, Mondays through Thursdays. That summer feel is easily back in your life. Book your bay at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
Brandon McManus delivers a walk-off field goal once again as the Pack take down the Jaguars 30-27 in Jacksonville. Blake Willis had to enter the game for an injured Jordan Love late and executed a nearly flawless 2-minute drill to lead the game-winning drive.
How Matt's calling it, just trying to understand that he's calling each play with a purpose and try to think on the same page as him as far as what we're trying to do with whatever play we call.
So a huge matchup now in Green Bay on Sunday afternoon, a 3:25 kickoff as the Pack hosts the first-place Detroit Lions.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we're the cold weather experts, offering unbeatable deals on the gear and supplies you need to get ready for winter. Like 30% off all zero exposure outerwear for the family. 50-foot yellow jacket extension cords are over half off, just $32.99. 15% off assorted Hillman hardware. And Red Devil caulk and construction adhesives, 20% off. Plus, check out unbeatable toy deals in Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Toyland, now open.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
it's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Experience elite orthopedic care at OAW. Their skilled teams in Pewaukee, Brookfield, and Muckwonago offer tailored treatment for your needs.
The Bucks dropped their third straight, falling to the defending NBA champion Celtics 119-108 in Boston. Milwaukee led by 3 at halftime before being outscored 66-52 in the second half. Giannis finished with a double-double, 30 points and 10 rebounds to go along with 6 assists, but turned the ball over 7 times on the night.
Dumps it down low to Giannis. Giannis spins off Brown, and then he flushes it through with a one-hand dunk. Giannis with a quick corkscrew down low. He's got 26 points now on 12 of 23 shooting.
Damian Lillard led the Deer with a game-high 33 points. The 1-3 Bucks wrap up their 3-game road trip Thursday night against the Memphis Grizzlies. Tip-off is at 7.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Book your appointment today at orthowisconsin.com.
Staying healthy isn't easy, especially here in Wisconsin with all that game day cheese. Brad Nortman here from Kyle Bruston Nortman. Between work, family, and life, managing nutrition and fitness can feel overwhelming. Trust me, I know. Quintessa in Brookfield has all the answers. As a member of their wellness membership, I have access to the Quintessa Nutrition app with customized meal plans, grocery lists, and a food tracker that keeps me on track to meet my fitness goals. Members also get 10% off all other wellness services. Take charge of your health. Visit myquintessa.com/wellness.
You're listening to Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Jesse, your hits have been great the whole time after we criticized you.
I believe 2 of these have been Halloween songs for real.
This is called Vampire.
Yeah, it's not a...
I agree with Jesse.
No, I agree with you too.
Dracula.
You chose
Dracula stuff and like whoop 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 whoop.
Right, the Addams Family theme. But you're choosing to prove a point, which we knew you would do.
Yeah, there's not enough mainstream Halloween music like there is for other holidays.
There was enough to get through the show. Just own that, and we'll move on.
Imagine Dragons.
Instead, you've decided to play Imagine Dragons, and who is this? Sabrina Carpenter?
Way, Olivia Rodrigo. The kids are going to be very
By the way,
upset
it's
with me for that.
11:58. It's 11:58, guys. So
trick or treat.
I didn't realize you were such a clock watcher. That's it for us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde and Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Commercial-free full show podcasts are available free on Wisconsin On Demand.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at titosvodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for 60 months.
Visit PellaWI.com.
Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free.
Okay, just calm down.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The city of Los Angeles ready to celebrate the World Series champion Dodgers with a parade on Friday. LA clinched the 8th title in franchise history and second since 2020 with an incredible 7-6 come-from-behind victory over the Yankees in the clincher in Game 5. That comeback from a 5-run deficit aided by a litany of errors from New York in the top of the 5th inning. After last night's loss, Yankees outfielder Juan Soto weighed in on his upcoming free agency, said he's happy with the city and the team, but at the end, they'll see. He's going to look at every situation, every offer they get. Will be open to listen to every single team and available to all 30 teams. At